Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, no longer California, Los Angeles, to be pseudo-specific. Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is Friday, September 19th, 2025, and this right here is Strictly Football on the Unhappy Hour, presented to you by the new American media, because the old American media failed. We're going to go over week 2 in the NFL. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, so I've been technically eliminated from the playoffs. Not completely, but man, weird statistics. We're putting up 600 yards, and we're doubling up the yards on the teams that are 2-0 against us. It's the weirdest thing. We're going to break that down and, of course, get Mike Bara, Jim Mitchell talking about the Seattle Seahawks, Ez'Ryel Robinson discussing the Dallas Cowboys, all of that and more on today's program. So without further ado, let's go ahead and launch our Strictly Football show. Let's go.
I'm Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
The new American media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
Thank you all for being here. Week 3 is what we're looking forward to. Mike Bara in Jigba joins us from Las Vegas. You've had a heck of a week, sir. How was your convention, and when's your next convention?
The Alien event in Las Vegas was insanely exhausting, and then I went to Austin yesterday to shoot a TV thing, and I'm wiped out. And you're lucky I woke up from my nap and actually made it to the show. But it's great to be here. And next gig is not this Saturday, but next Saturday, September 27th in Nashville, Tennessee. Ooh. So the Alien Fest in Nashville, I will be there.
You know, that is striking distance to where I'm at.
You should come, man. We haven't met face to face, and you should come.
Let's chat about that one.
TV's Blake Wally will probably be there.
Yeah, that's true. Let's chat about that. Maybe that's a thing we should do. Jim Mitchell joins us from Las Vegas, Nevada as well. Captain Jim, how are you, sir?
Good, Brian. Did you get your
Happy to have you here. Yes, I did. I had to as people know, I run a resale business. So I got an order, needed to get it out in time, and had to run up to the location. And it went very well. Glad you joined us. Man, I'm so glad football's here, but we're already on to week 3. It's crazy to me, Jim. But we're back. We're going to give Jim's betting. Oh, geez, I said it now. I'm trying to remember exactly how I phrased it. What did I call it? I said it a second ago.
You called them betting. You called them trends.
Our NFL trends.
Trends is good.
Betting
statistics is probably a little better. Yeah.
Where did Izzy go? There he is.
Trends and statistics.
You guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, Izzy, you look and sound like one of those UFOs that disappears and it comes back. It disappears, it comes back, it disappears. Welcome back, Izzy. How are you feeling?
Yeah, what's up? I'm good. I'm on my phone because I have no idea what's up on my computer.
Well, you know what? When life gives you lemons, chuck them at somebody. Yeah. So we're going to get into all of the sports of last weekend. Izzy was with us. We did a special episode of the Unhappy Hour. By the way, Jim and Mike, if ever I'm doing my traditional Sunday show and it's about an 8-hour broadcast, we're just hanging out watching football. We just pop in, talk about what games we're watching. Holy crap, do you see what's going on? So open invitation. I've done it 2 weeks in a row, and I have a lot of fun. Izzy was there for most of that.
You know, this show is about all the Brian Engelman I can handle for a week, Brian. Sorry. Just kidding.
I mean, you're not telling any lies. Point to the lie and tell me where it hurt you. All right, so let's jump into last week's content. Let's go ahead and pull up the games and let's look at it. By the way, my betting was fantastic. I don't know how you gentlemen fared in your betting, but my week 2 was incredible. If you guys all log in, but let me go ahead and pull up the NFL scores from week 2 and we will tear through them. How about this one? I'll pull it up on the screen. Commanders, Packers. See, normally we do the show on Tuesday, but we adjusted. We called an audible based on what we were seeing. Now we're trying to remember back. Geez, the Packers beat the Commanders 27-18. Green Bay 2-0, rolling into Cleveland. Let's start with Mr. Mike Bara. Packers 2-0. How you feeling about the Packers? And were you surprised that they were able to somewhat easily, dispatch the Commanders?
Well, no, they just held them at arm's length. They were the home team. They had an advantage over the Redskins, who were had some injuries. Jaden Daniels is dinged up a little bit. He might not play this week. And so, it wasn't really that surprising that they won at home. They're a good, solid team. They've added Micah Parsons. So you can't really complain about that. I did watch actually a significant chunk of this game, and, Jordan Love still looks pretty good. So, they're a good, solid football team. To me, that's like a boxing match where one guy just sort of used his jab the whole night and kept the other guy down and won pretty comfortably on points, unanimous decision.
Well, normally I would go to Jim on that, but you're the boxer, Izzy. What did you think of that analogy? They wore him down on jabs and punches, just kind of.
I can agree on that. Yeah, I thought it was going to be it was pretty close at half. It's just the defenses kept literally just throwing punches at each other. They couldn't score on offense, either one. The Packers, the game could have been a blowout if they kept getting within field goal range, kept kicking field goals. It could have been a closer game if the Commanders could go down within field goal range or even score some touchdowns. It's a winnable game for the Commanders. It's just the defense on both sides were tremendous that day. So it was a really good game. I watched it. I liked it a lot. 18-27 says a lot more of what the game could have been. So,
yeah, Packers left some stuff on the table, but they're rolling. Yeah. Jim, you had your betting trends and you watched that game. Packers are rolling into the Browns this week. Browns are starting to get some weapons back with Quinshon Judkins, so maybe we'll be looking at a slightly different offense to compete a little better. But what did you make of this one? The Packers dispatching the Commanders.
Yeah, the Packers they probably pulled out all the stops on this one. I mean, they're I don't want to say they were looking forward to the Browns, but the Redskins historically, don't travel north, even though there was not a lot of inclement weather up there, it being still September. But the Packers, it was the point spread was 3.5, and the Packers covered comfortably. And the game was probably as far as the over/under concerned, the number was under by 3, so it wasn't historically a real high scoring game as far as NFC Central games go. But the game went pretty much as we predicted.
Right. Well, in that game, of course, a couple of touchdowns scored. If you're watching at home, the players that were getting it done. Jaden Daniels had 2 touchdown passes, one of them to Zach Ertz, one of them to Deebo Samuel. And then on the Packers side, Josh Jacobs punched in a touchdown run and 2 touchdown passes thrown by Jordan Love, one to Tucker Kraft, who was injured. Now he's not injured or something, or a big injury scare. I guess he's okay. And Romeo Doubs punched in another one. All right, let's bounce to the next game. Oh, okay. Browns-Ravens. Lamar throws for 4 touchdown passes. This game was close. It was a 10-3 game at halftime. And just the Browns could not keep up in the second half, ended up losing 41-17, could have ended up losing by more. And in that game, one of the touchdown passes was thrown by Joe Flacco, should have been intercepted. Instead, it was a tip drill caught by Cedric Tillman. Joe Flacco could have thrown for 2 touchdowns. Alas, he's going to stay the starter. They're not going to go to Dylan Gabriel just yet. And the Browns dropped to 0-2, preparing for the Packers. Mike Bara.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good move for them to go to the rookies yet. Either Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. Looks like Gabriel's ahead of him on the depth chart, but you may as well see what you have with those guys. But why not give it another couple weeks? I hate to say this, but in the NFL, again, in the NFL, if you start 0-2, your chances of making the playoffs are less than 20%. Your chances of going to the Super Bowl are less than 2% or about 5%, less than 5%. So if you're 0-2, you're not going to the Super Bowl. So it's always critical to win one of those 2 games. right off the bat, and I hate to say it about your Browns, but they didn't win either one of them. And it was just a frustrating game. You just got Lamar. I mean, look, Myles Garrett is maybe the best defensive end pass rusher in football versus Lamar Jackson, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And bottom line is, you just got Lamar. There's just too many things the Browns couldn't handle in that game, and they're just a really good football team, the Ravens, and that's the way it goes. It's just not going to be your year again. So sorry about that, but it just sucks. But it's the Browns continuing to be the Browns, and I don't know what the problem is. Is it the owner? Is it the GM? Is it both the owner and the GM and the coach? I don't know.
I mean, part of it is definitely the Deshaun Watson deal that just really hamstrung us. Although he's back to practicing, and there's rumors he might be wanting to play, or we'll trade him or release it. Who knows exactly how this will play out? But
yeah, and again, I want to remind all those Seahawks fans out there that it was me that said when we switched to Geno in 2022 that Baker Mayfield is the guy we should go sign for a whole bunch of reasons, all of which are coming true. And not having him, I mean, the GM that you have now dumped Baker Mayfield so he could spend enormous amounts of cap space and multiple first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. So get rid of him. It's time for a change over the whole thing in Cleveland again. Start from scratch again.
No. We're definitely doing a relaunch. We've definitely have a youth movement. I think we have some really impressive pieces. Our tight end, Harold Fannin Jr. out of my alma mater, Bowling Green State University, is a beast. This guy is just warming up. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to touch the ball 7-8 times every game at least. He's getting the ball out of direct snaps, and he's being a fullback. He's being a running back. He's being a pass catcher at tight end. He's being a split out. This guy's just everywhere. Izzy, you watched this game with us. What did you think here? I mean, the Browns defense actually played pretty well as long as they could. By the third and fourth quarter, if you can never get off the field, you can't blame them too much.
Yeah, I came in towards the end of that game, but yeah, Harold Fannin and Tyler Warren are going to be fighting for that top 3 spot for the next couple of years in the NFL. But the Cleveland Browns, I mean, their defense played a phenomenal game. I mean, they stopped Derrick Henry 11 carries for 23 yards and no touchdowns.
Yeah.
People were very mad about that on the betting side, but yeah, like Mike said, you just got Lamar. I mean, 19 for 29, 200 yards and 4 TDs. If the offense can't go out there and score, then it's more opportunities for the other opposing team's offense, and they capitalize on that, 41-17. So, and the Ravens' defense is good regardless of what.
Yeah, and look, they're going to be one of the toughest defenses in the league. So as the Browns are kind of retooling, and Quinshawn's he was out until that was his first game. That we're watching him in a full game. So, I think things will settle down this week, and we should see more.
But yeah, Quinshawn didn't look bad at all. Me personally, I still believe he's better than Travion, but
hey,
conversation for another day.
It is. By the way, the scoring on the Ravens side, 2 touchdown passes to Devontae Walker, 1 to DeAndre Hopkins, 1 to Tylan Wallace. And then, of course, the Browns had a reception for a touchdown from Dylan Sampson, the running back, and Cedric Tillman. So, Jim, your thoughts on Browns? Ravens.
Yeah, I didn't play this game. Historically, the Browns are pretty strong in Baltimore. It being a AFC Central game, and but Lamar is just dominant at home. Statistically, I mean he's 94-30 straight up installed as a home favorite, and this number looked really big to me. And usually when Vegas puts up a big number like this, they're trying to tell the public something, that this game is more than likely going to be a blowout. So it
eventually was. It was very close at the half. It just eventually got.
Well, like I said, historically the Browns usually play the Ravens pretty close, even though the Ravens are, by some people, a top 3 football team in the NFL. But it's not a matter of your record in situations like that. It's a matter of familiarity with your team, and they play them twice a year at least. and the game was just a blowout. I mean after the first half, I personally didn't watch the game. Mike and I were a little busy on Sunday, so anything that we watched was probably on Sports Center or recaps.
Right.
But we were tied up all day.
I thankfully subjected myself to it, and it was brutal. But come on, I'm a Browns fan. I'm absolutely used to it. Talk about brutal. How about being a Bengals fan, Mike? Bengals get the win, but they lose their quarterback. They beat the Jaguars 31-27, and now they got the Jake Browning era in Cincinnati. I mean, they say Joe might be made of glass. He's a badass. He's an MVP candidate. He's a national champion in college, but yet another significant injury. What did you take away from this game?
Well, it's a pattern now, so you have to accept that this is who he is, and he's going to get beat up, and this is why you had to invest in an offensive line for him, and you didn't, and you keep not doing it. And this is the same attitude the Seahawks had with Russell Wilson. It's like, well, he can run around a little bit, so we're not going to worry. We're not going to draft guys that can block for him. And there was a time in 2019, 2020, the management there came to Russ and said, we want you to lose some weight and become more mobile. And he told them no, because you don't get anybody to block for me. And I think the same thing might be kind of going on in Cincinnati. He's franchise quarterback, MVP candidate every year, but can't stay healthy. And so the only way they're going to win is they gotta treat this guy like he's Tom Brady. They got to find guys that can block for him, and they got to emphasize guys that can block for him, because he's got the receivers, he's got the weapons. Now, Jake Browning, I happen to think is a pretty good football player. Maybe not in a spot situation like this, but I wouldn't have minded the Seahawks signing him as a restricted free agent to work on their quarterback problem, because I think he's got upside, and he was certainly a good college player. But they're not going anywhere unless they can get a better player in. So that might be a situation where the Browns, if it wasn't a division team, would be looking to trade one of their two rookies to get another asset back or something. It's just a difficult situation. And, the Bengals were not an elite team anyway, but they're definitely not going anywhere without Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are asking, like, well, the Browns have two rookies. Why don't you trade one? It's like the one that we traded was for a 5th-round pick, Kenny Pickett. He was the odd man out. He was injured throughout training camp. He couldn't show much of anything. We got something back, but we're only one injury away from having only one backup quarterback ourselves. So I don't see that happening. But
yeah, that's the thing. If you trade Shadur, or if you trade Dylan Gabriel, let's say you did want to trade to a division rival, you're weakening your own club at that position, so you don't want to do that.
Exactly. Izzy appears to be frozen. Oh wait,
Nope.
Izzy's back. Is Izzy back? There's Izzy. All right, so what about this one? Bengals lose Burrow, but they get the win. Jacksonville kept it close, but they were able to edge it out.
Yeah, I want to talk about Trevor. Trevor Lawrence is he's not good. I mean, after that game, I'm actually
do more. A lot of his passes.
his receivers that are just like in double coverage or hospital ball. But the Bengals, they lose Joe Burrow for like pretty much almost the whole season if they don't make the playoffs. There's no point of rushing them back. Jake Browning is serviceable. I mean, he had 3 interceptions. That's not good. Yeah, exactly. That's not good at all. So they're going to be out of playoffs. 2-0. I mean, they barely scraped past Jacksonville with a backup quarterback. So it's a scratch for the Bengals. Do they go out and get a top tier offensive lineman in the draft next year? What do they do? And Joe Burrow's been sacked the most times since Derek Carr, if I'm right. Not Derek Carr, his brother, I believe. It's some stat like that. Yeah, David Carr. Yeah. So I wouldn't say he's made of glass. His O-line is non-existent. Yeah.
Like a sieve. Jim, this game, what was your takeaway here?
Yeah, this game was kind of a quasi corner game. The Jaguars historically don't start out strong. They're 4-9 straight up the first 2 weeks of the season. So we really didn't expect too much out of the Jaguars. And Joe Burrow, for his limited play, I mean, he's He's 7-2. Oddly enough, 7-2 straight up after playing Cleveland. You know, their previous game was Cleveland, so they're 7-2 straight up, not against the spread necessarily. The number on this game was 3.5. It closed at 3.5 in most sports books, and they covered by half a point. So you're gonna throw it over to Jim here.
Am I going to throw it over to Jim?
Yeah, you had Mora up here.
Oh, I'm like, you're Jim. Wait a minute. What?
No,
I thought we were going to get some. I thought we were going to get some play.
playoff.
Okay, hold on. I was going to do my part first, but let's hear Jim Moore first.
I don't know. All I know is we threw 4 interceptions and fumbled once. 1 interception they returned for a touchdown. 3 others were in our end of the field where they scored points. That's all I know. That's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
I just hope we can win a game. The thing is, you know, you look at the Bengals the last couple of years, where they've drafted. This year, they drafted right in front of the Seahawks. They could have taken Gray Zabel, who's starting for us at left guard, and unless he gets injured, he's going to go to the Pro Bowl about 5 or 6 times in his career. He's going to be fabulous. And they didn't do that. They picked Shamar Stewart. They picked a defensive end. You got to, you know, when you have the quarterback, Seahawks do not have the quarterback. We had Russ. When you have the quarterback, you have to build around him. You have to protect him. You have to get him weapons. You have to get him running game. And they're just not doing that. And that's why they're in this situation.
Unfortunately, they also had that problem with Trey Hendrickson at defensive end, another glaring, blazing issue they had to address. But yeah,
again, is your defense really more of an issue than protecting your $50 billion, whatever he is, franchise quarterback?
Not even close. Not even close. You got to protect your QB1, and now he's out. Turf toe for, was it 3 months? Are they saying? Did he already have his surgery?
Yeah, he's done. He's
3 months.
Yeah, they said he can come back towards the end of the season, but it's no point because they're not going to be in a playoff run. So
I mean,
no
look,
point
they are 2-0. I've seen weirder shit happen. Kurt Warner never gave up the quarterback position once he got there, and they called him in from being a cashier up in Canada or whatever that story was. I mean, I've seen weirder things happen. You like Jake Browning. You think he's solid. Mike Bara and Jigba. You think he's pretty good. He's all right. He's serviceable, as he said. And, but who knows? Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on his health to see if he's going to come back or just say, this whole season's a wash. I'm just going to focus on health. But in this game, Jamar Chase went off 14 receptions, 165 yards and a touchdown. T. Higgins pulled in another touchdown. Mitchell Tinsley in the air as well. On the Jacksonville side, receiving Dayami Brown and Bashal Tootin. Tootin is really coming on his own. They traded away their backup running back in Jacksonville. So ETN Jr. and Tootin are getting a whole bunch of carries and a whole bunch of looks in the passing game as well. But yeah, those 2 interceptions ended up sinking Trevor Lawrence on the day. Let's move on to our next game in the lineup. That would be, there we go. There's Giants Cowboys. This was a final in overtime. Let's go ahead and save the best for the middle. We'll start with Mike. That is his team, the Cowgirls. We'll let him discuss it. But what did you take away from this one? I mean, the Giants were more competitive than I thought.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys, and as Izzy skips out. Izzy, where are you?
But it's your quarterback, Russell. I mean, he had an incredible day.
Everything I've ever said about Russell Wilson remains true. You put the right team around him, give him the right scheme, let him call his own plays. He's going to throw 415 yards and 3 touchdowns on you every fucking time. And this guy is still an elite quarterback. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in this league. He needs to be in the right situation. He's been in 3 shitty situations in a row. Having said that, he showed you what he could do. Having said that, there's a sense that the Giants want to move on to Jackson Dart as soon as they can. I think that's fine. If I was a team that lost its franchise quarterback, and I'm not going to mention any names, Cincinnati Bengals, or I have a weird feeling something's going to happen to Mahomes this year. I don't know why. Whoever loses them, if they want to save their season, should be trading for this guy and giving him the tools that he needs to excel, because as he showed you on Sunday, he can still do it. A tight game, good game. Giants would not have been in the game without Russ. Let's be honest; they wouldn't have been in the game without him. So it just reinforces everything I say about him. And that's they played tough. It's a shame that they're 0-2 because they played a little better than that in this game. And but you're 0-2 Giants fans, and you're almost certainly not going to the playoffs, and you're sure not going to.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them get away. Izzy, that's your team.
Hook.
We let him off the hook.
Let him off the hook.
Today's all about remembering our favorite coach blow up. Sam Weish yelling at the Cleveland fans. This is not Cleveland. That was so good. Izzy, man, you live in
Cincinnati.
Yes, yeah. You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati. He invented the mic drop, I think. Izzy, that was your team, man. That was on the edge of your seat, a barn burner. What did you take away from this?
Yeah, I mean, like it was a great game. It was one of the best games I've watched so far in my life. Yeah, Russell Wilson, he had an awesome game. I mean, he first quarter, fourth quarter, he threw for the most passing yards in his career.
Oh.
Yeah, and Malik Neighbors 167 yards, 9 catches, and Wan'Dale Robinson 142 yards, 8 catches. I mean, the scheme was broken down for defense. So Matt Eberflus, he's a great defensive mind, but the way they were running the scheme, it was just the safeties and the corners that weren't on the same page, and it kept giving up middle seam routes, deep balls, because the safeties don't know how to communicate with the corners to say, oh wait, this guy's gonna run right past me, and there's gonna be no one open to guard him. And that's what happened all game. That's why Wan'Dale Robinson got 142 yards.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of deep balls that are just thrown back to back to Malik Neighbors. And credit to Russell Wilson at the end of the day. I'm not taking anything away from him. He had a phenomenal game getting the ball there. I don't think there's any other quarterback that could do that like Russ.
Now, if you give Russ the deep middle of the field, he's going to take it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what we were doing.
That's exactly what they should have not been.
But I mean, the Cowboys, it's a great team win. Brian Schottenheimer's first win. Dak throws for almost 400 yards, 2 TDs, an interception that shouldn't have counted. The ball touched the ground. Javonte Williams is looking like a great back. CeeDee Lamb is in there. George Pickens is getting targets. I mean, the offense is there. We've seen it last week. We almost scratched past the Eagles. The offense is there. The defense is questionable. So the Cowboys will make the playoffs. It's just a matter of how far can their defense take them, because the defense plays a huge factor in winning championships. So
and there you go.
It was a great game. And Brandon Aubrey's the best kicker to ever touch a football field. I'll put it that way.
That's what I was going to say as I boost Mike's volume up a little bit here. Brandon Aubrey, look, he's a secret weapon. The dude got the kick when it counted, and he's got the long leg. They got the win. James, are you surprised about this? Not really. Nobody really expected the Giants to put up this kind of threat, right?
Well, no. I mean, the Cowboys historically own the Giants straight up, but this number pretty much opened at 5.5, and the Cowboys didn't cover. I didn't expect them to cover. I had this game on the money line. I went ahead and parlayed this game with a few others. I had the Cowboys in this, and by the way, as you know, the great D.D. Lewis passed away yesterday or the day before. Played with Staubach.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Giants.
Yeah.
The Giants are historically they're 3-10 straight up the first 2 weeks of the season. I mean, they're not good early in the season, and the last couple of years they're not good the rest of the season either. Prescott is 17-3 straight up against the NFC East, and historically now the Cowboys are 15-1 straight up against the Giants. So this was kind of a no-brainer.
Dak Prescott's undefeated.
To make a money line bet
against the Giants. He's only lost one game in his career. I think it was the first game he played against them. Dak Prescott's undefeated against the Giants. Besides, I think it's the first game of his career he lost to them. And he's 15-0 since, I believe.
I mean, 17-3 in your division, that's kind of incredible.
Well, yeah, well, 15-1, that would cover 8 seasons, and that's pretty much Dak's career so far. So, If you
Man, it's
say
so weird
Dak's
that-
never lost against the Giants, I'm not going to dispute that at all. I mean, but
Giants have been
Dak
pretty
didn't play
bad
for
throughout this stretch.
Dak didn't play for a good part of the season last year.
That's right. So recapping what happened there, Russ had 3 touchdowns, 450 yards. Dak had 361 in the air, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Scoring for Dallas, by the way, keep your eye peeled in fantasy for Javonte Williams, who's punching in touchdowns, had 97 yards on 18 carries. He's a nice redemption story coming back from a couple injuries up in Denver. Miles Sanders hawked a touchdown as well on the ground. George Pickens, Kevontae Turpin hit the wide receiving touchdowns for them. And then, of course, the New York Giants, 2 for Malik Neighbors, 1 from Wan'Dale Robinson, but they both went over 140 yards each. And Cam Scatterbo gets on the board with a rushing touchdown. If you're paying attention to those teams, I'm curious to see if that offensive performance is going to carry into the next game. Speaking of offensive performance, what about the Lions? They bounced back in a pretty impressive way, Mike, 52-21. I mean, the Bears are who we thought they were going to be, and the Lions weren't as bad as week 1 was pretending to be.
So that was the coaches, Dan Campbell versus who's the other guy? Who's the Bears coach? Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
it was the Ben
Johnson
Bowl, and Dan Campbell put the hurt on his former protege there. Seemed like it was a little tense, a lot of competition there. But look, what can you say? The Lions played like the Lions are capable of playing. You had Jared Goff slinging the ball pretty much all over the place. What did they end up with? 334 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. You can't play better than that. 156 quarterback rating. You actually can play better than that. His passer rating could have been 158.1, I think, which is the peak, but absolutely fabulous. They blocked well. The Bears still have some rebuilding to do. Unfortunately, Bears fans, you're 0-2. You're almost certainly not going to the playoffs. But again, Caleb Williams is good enough. He had 207 yards, not a lot of attempts. He had 30 attempts. I guess is kind of a lot. But, I don't get the criticism of Caleb Williams' game. He did take 4 sacks, but he spread the ball around. DeAndre Swift had 12 catches. Roman Dunze had 7 catches. DJ Moore had 5. Cole Kmet had 2. Spread the ball around fairly well, but they just couldn't do anything to stop that Lions offense. And another fabulous win for Dan Campbell. And the Lions, they're 1-1, so they are contenders for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're back in the race. They had a tough week 1. Izzy, what did you take away from this game?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I was looking at the box score. I mean, it's a blowout. If I'm right, the Lions, they always bounce back after they lose the first week. And Caleb Williams, I mean, he had an okay game. Nothing too impressive. DeAndre Swift had an okay game, but the Lions are just players that can make big plays is the way the offense is ran with the Lions. As long as Jared Goff's there, he's been one of the most accurate quarterbacks for the past 3 years. Like, he'll rarely miss any passes. He'll get the ball where it needs to be. 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions is a great game. So, it's the Bears versus the Lions. I think we saw this last year. So, it's a phenomenal game. Great bounce back game. Let's see how they could do against other teams in the division.
Yeah, I didn't think the Lions were going to be down long. Jim, you didn't think the Lions were going to be down too down for too long, right?
No, this was a look ahead game for the Lions. I know they had the Ravens this week, so NFC Central game. Dan Campbell is now 12-4 in September, and the Bears are 4-22 straight up on the road. The line opened here at 4.5. It was quickly bet up to 6.5. So we know there was a lot of Lion money on this game, both probably from the sharps and also the public. The Bears 12-32 straight up, and the Lions are just super strong at home. I mean, they're now 12-0 straight up after a loss. So, again, my takeaway from this was a look-ahead game. They knew they had to play Baltimore the next week. And Lions pretty much owned the Bears. So
They did.
This was not unexpected.
Yeah, that was 2 touchdowns in the air on 7 receptions for 128 yards for Rome Odunze, settling in a little bit there. DeAndre Swift punched it in on the ground for the Bears. Goff, 334 in the air, 5 touchdowns, no stupid mistakes. Jahmyr Gibbs got a rushing touchdown. David Montgomery vultured a touchdown. Jamison Williams in the air, Brock Wright in the air, and then 3 touchdown receptions for Amon-Ra St. Brown on 115 yards, 9 receptions. So, yeah, a lot of offense to go around in that game. Just
to add on to that, Brian, don't be surprised if you see Tyson Bagent after Halloween. I mean, I think Ben Johnson's he's uttered a few things, in press conferences, and I think Williams is he's back to painting his fingernails, and you're going to see Tyson Bagent after Halloween.
And maybe it'll be a situation where it's like down in Carolina. You get benched for a little bit, and maybe you have a chance to recoup and get back in. I mean, he's too high of a draft pick. He does have talent, but it's not like the whole Bears
Holds
team
on to the
is.
ball. Holds on to the ball.
I'm telling you, you got to watch this show for the news. Jim Mitchell just made some news right there, folks. You don't know it yet, but it happened.
Then we've made it.
I told you, Mike McDaniel's the first coach is going to get fired, and now Jim's talking about a quarterback change. I don't support that. I think you grow with Caleb Williams, but new regime, new coach, who knows?
Mike,
Yeah.
if you're feeling
new coach, that's it, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Williams is not Johnson's pick.
Okay, that matters a lot. Ask Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield, and look how Baker's doing down in
Then
Tampa.
maybe we can speculate on where, at some, not this show maybe, but in a future episode, we can speculate where Caleb Williams ends up then, because it doesn't, if you're going to give up on a guy after only a year and a half, it doesn't make any sense to keep him. You just may as well trade him and get something for him. You can probably get a first-round pick for him from somebody.
The Bengals are looking.
I'll take him in Seattle. I like Sam Darnold, but I'll take Caleb Williams as the heir apparent.
Yeah, they'll get a first rounder for him. Absolutely, they will.
And by the way, Mike, if you're feeling up to it, that would be a great thing to tweet out. The predictions made on the show. You said the two of them are what? That Caleb
Daniel is going to be the first coach fired.
Daniel first coach. Caleb will be benched. When did we say? Sometime this year or
by Halloween?
Halloween, you said.
Well, guys, if you remember, we had that right last year. We said that Dennis Allen was on his way out, and 3 weeks later, that's what happened.
But that's mostly just because he has gigantic soft man boobs. That you can't be a head coach and look like that. You gotta, dude, liposuction, man. You look a lot.
Rex Ryan and Bill Parcells have entered. Bill Belichick has something to say about that.
Yeah. Rex Ryan.
It's always been the safest bet, the safest future bet on the board. Who's the next coach fired? If Dennis Allen is an HC, he's going to be next.
Well, okay. Talking about head coaches, with Sean Payton not Sean Payton. The Rams are fine at coaching, but the Tennessee Titans, you're just trying to figure out what direction are they.
You meant to say Sean McVay. Yes, the Rams.
Thank you, McVay.
You're not middle-aged yet, buddy. You shouldn't be having these memory problems like me and Jim have. Come on.
You know what? You caught the block off my blind side. That was a good pickup, Mike. I appreciate you. That's why you patrol the backfield.
I know, because it happens to me. I get in mid-sentence and hope somebody else says the name, right? And I'm like, what was the name?
1 billion names floating around in the index.
1 billion.
Well, look, Rams improved to 2-0 in this game. Titans dropped to 0-2. Mike, that's sort of your backyard, your LA Rams, not your team, but they're in your division. So what did you make of this one? No surprise, but any key takeaways?
Rams are good. They're better than I thought they were going to be. They're good. Their defense is just smothering. Now, they were only playing Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans, who don't have a lot of offensive firepower, but they're very good. And look, the thing is, Matthew Stafford, he's held together so far. He may be put together with super glue and duct tape, but when he's out there, I mean, did you see that one? There was one throw. He just, it was a sidearm throw and a little bit on the move to a guy cutting across the field, and it was just the most perfect ball placement you can imagine. So the guy still got the rocket arm and the accuracy, and you can't teach that. Accuracy, kids, is something you can't teach. And so if you want to draft a quarterback that's got the accuracy and the arm, and so they'll go exactly as far as Matt Stafford can take them. If he gets injured, I think they're fooked. but overall, they're just a very balanced team on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
And they
well
played
coached,
really well.
well
And
organized,
a great coach, a great fucking coach.
a great coach.
I wish you would have taken the TV job, Sean. Take your gay little hair and go to the TV job. Sorry.
I wish you would have came and coached the Browns, to be honest. I'm not a Stefanski fan. Izzy, this is your backyard. This is your city, your team.
Yeah. I don't watch the game, but I mean the Rams are good. Like Sean McVay, he's one of the best coaches. I mean, he's young. He'll probably play for coach in the league for his whole life. As far as the win from the Rams, 33-19, it's kind of expected. He's throwing for 300 yards. Cam Ward is a good quarterback. I'm gonna stay on that. But the Tennessee, I mean, they have the first overall pick for a reason. It was a great game by the Rams. I mean, there's no way of stopping the Rams in the pass game unless you have an elite defense, and that's just very few teams have that. There's a clip out there of Cam Ward that you guys should look up. He makes a play for a touchdown, and it's one of the best passes I've ever seen. He rolls out right. It's like something I do in a video game like Madden. Rolls out right, cross arm body, throws it all the way to the other opposite side of the end zone. It's like a 25-yard pass vertically. And
Patrick Mahomes. I saw that in
person.
The league opener game against the Browns. We were winning. That stadium was silent, and he pulled off some running around like it's backyard football on the asphalt and chucked it 40 yards downfield.
Yeah.
Exploded. We never got momentum back. It's like, how did you pull that out of your backside? But he did.
Yeah, and it's just a phenomenal play. So you guys should watch that on your time. But yeah, I mean, the Rams they're looking pretty unbeatable right now as far as the pass game.
Fair enough, Jim. The LA Rams.
Yeah, the Rams. This game pretty much stayed at 5.5 all week. As the Rams being a favorite, this game went way over the total. The total I think was 41.5 in this game. The past 19 games, I mean the Titans are 3-16 against the spread. You know, even though this was a 5.5 point spread, the Rams covered this number comfortably. At home, this is just unbelievable. But at home, the Titans are 0-9 now against the spread at home, whether they're a dog or a favorite. So the writing was pretty much on the board. Everybody knew the Rams were a pretty good team, and I think Tennessee's still in the middle of a rebuild. You know, they think they have their quarterback, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the one touchdown on the day, Elik Ayomanor. I'm probably pronouncing that terribly. One receiving touchdown for Tennessee. Devontae Adams scored in the air, and so did Davis Allen for the Rams. On the ground, Blake Corum, hey, there he is, out of that team up north, getting one of his first touchdowns of his career. And then Puka Nacua on the ground, a 45-yard run. That was like an end around, I believe. Good game for the Rams, and the Tennessee Titans, they are who we thought they were. They've got a lot of work to go. All right, Patriots-Dolphins. Patriots pulled this one off, dropping the Dolphins to 0-2 at that point. Of course, we had the Thursday night game, but Patriots got it done. Drake May had 3 touchdowns, Mike. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, the Dolphins have already lost again since then. And they played the Bills tough last night. I'll give them that. But in the end, Tua makes the critical mistake, loses the game with that interception. And it wasn't a good read. It just, he shouldn't have had that issue. Our buddy Ramondre Stevenson, the running back, accounted for like 120, 130 yards from scrimmage. Didn't score a touchdown, but did a great job out there. Not much to say about it. Drake May looked very solid, 19-23, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10-yard per reception average, 137 passer rating. He looked good. And the Patriots won, Dolphins lost, and the Dolphins then went out and lost another game last night. So, again, Mike McDaniel is a clusterfuck of a head coach. I don't even think the guy knows what planet he's on, as I've said repeatedly. It's Earth, Mike. Come to Earth, Michael. He's going to get fired sooner rather than later. That's all I got to say about it.
All right, Jim, what about you on this one? Yeah, and I wonder if Drake May is going to be the answer at quarterback for the
I
Patriots.
have one question. I'm gonna send you a link to a picture of Mike McDaniel. And
Okay.
Mike McDaniel, who is whiter than I am, gets fired. Are they going to say that a black coach got fired? Because remember, the 49ers got a third-round pick claiming this guy is black, and I'm like, he's pretty damned white if you ask me. But hey,
He is.
so
He is whiter than you, Mike, but he's not. He's not whiter than me. He is a lot whiter than you.
That's true. Well, you have the hair to enhance the whiteness, James.
Well,
He has like a bit of a ginger component too, right?
I didn't want to have to wear a ball cap today.
Well, Jim, what did you take away from this one? Patriots getting their first win of the year.
Well, historically, the Dolphins have owned the Patriots at home in this series. They were 5-0 at home against the Patriots going into this game, and a lot of it has to do with weather. But it wasn't terribly hot. I'm sure it was really humid. I mean, there was thunderstorms in the area, and the game time was like 90 degrees. But the Patriots, the number opened at 1.5 Dolphins, and it pretty much stayed that way. The Patriots handled the number, 33-27. The Dolphins were historically 8-2 straight up against the Patriots the last 10 games. But like Mike said, I mean, I just think they're circling the drain right now. And, at home, the Dolphins are now 5-1 against the Patriots.
5-1. Yeah,
First black coach fired in 2025 will be this guy.
Yeah,
I just can't take it. It's like the insanity.
he really is a space cadet, though. He's
yeah,
I mean, look, he was the toast of the town for a little while. He was the next hit kid, but it's kind of like a shtick. It sort of ran its course.
Well, the thing is, again, there are some guys who are just coordinators, and that's what he should be. I think he's probably a very good offensive coordinator in terms of schematically and things like that, but I don't think he's head coach material. Like I said, I heard the interview in July with him, and I was like, what? It was word salad. It was like Pete Carroll-esque word salad. It meant nothing what he was saying, and I'm like, I just don't see a great future in Miami for this guy. But he'll be a good coordinator somewhere.
Well, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane both had receptions in the air for touchdowns. Tua threw for 2 and 1 pick. Like you said, it came down to that big mistake. Not a good read. Drake May, 2 touchdowns, no big mistakes. Really not working Travion Henderson in. I think it's a big mistake. I'm sure Ramondre's fantastic, but I don't know. Why are you giving more touches to Antonio Gibson?
Well,
Travion.
Ramondre had, what did he have yards from scrimmage? He had.
You said about 130, 54 on the ground, 88 in the air.
Yeah, 54 on the ground, 88 in the air. I don't know how much more you can ask for that out of your running back. No wonder they paid him,
Our
buddy
had a good game.
Our buddy had a good game.
Yeah, I mean, but when you have a double-headed look, Travion Henderson is a home run hitter, whether it's in the college football playoffs or all through the preseason. You give the guy the ball and great things happen. Playoffs, run it a little bit more. Playoffs, Izzy. Your final thoughts on this game? Playoffs.
Yeah, I'm really whiter than Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, this game was pretty good. The Dolphin. I mean, it's a question of either Mike McDaniel being the head coach, or is it Tua Tagovailoa? Is the scheme completely surrounded around Tua and how he plays for that day, or is it around Mike McDaniel and the way he coaches it up? It's weird because it's kind of like flipping a coin. You don't know what happens that day. But Tyreek, they found a way to implement him. Devin Achane, he's a receiver that's playing running back, kind of like a opposite of Deebo Samuel. I mean, Tua had a great game. I mean, 26 for 32, 315, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Drake May had a good game, 19, 23, 230, 2 touchdowns. It's just I don't know how to explain it. That's a lot of points to give it to the Patriots if you're Miami.
Something in the chemistry isn't working.
Yeah. It's just a lot of points to give it to the Patriots.
Yeah, is it Tua or is it Mike McDaniel? I don't know.
You don't know exactly.
I vote
McDaniel.
Tua is rated one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Yeah,
but again,
is the scheme surrounded around him though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it made for him to have those kind of games? Those almost perfect games, pretty much passing the ball. So,
but then again, last night's game, we probably all watched it. I was watching it on the plane coming home. Key critical point in the game, and Tua throws it right to a defensive back. He just didn't see the guy. So you can't coach that. That's the quarterback's got to make the read. He's got to know where the guys are coming from. He's got to be Tom Brady up here. I don't know.
Yeah, he's no Geno Smith, but we'll get to that.
He is no Geno Smith.
We will get to that, but we can talk about another team in that division. The 49ers took care of business. This was closer than I expected. 21 for the Saints and 26 for the 49ers, who walk away with this win, 2-0 on the year. Mike, you love the Santa Clara Niners.
I mean, overall, Santa Clara, despite their injuries, and they are legion, was solid enough to win that game. We know the Saints are going to be one of the worst teams in the league, and we know that, and they're going to be picking top 10, top 5, almost certainly. And what I really have to say about this is Mac Jones stepped right in the system there. Kyle Shanahan is an excellent talent evaluator. Mac Jones is the quarterback that he wanted to draft when they traded up to the 3rd overall pick or whatever it was in 2021 or 2022. It was Mac Jones that he wanted. And they took Trey Lance instead. The organization did. Trey Lance didn't work out. Mac Jones looks like he's very comfortable in the Shanahan system. He's a good fit. Had an excellent game. And as long as he got Christian McCaffrey, he did an excellent job both rushing and receiving. So they were solid enough. They escaped with a win. And again, I'm going to go back to my guy, Spencer Rattler, who I wanted for the Seahawks. And you can't talk shit to me because 25 of 34, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, 118.1 passer rating. This guy can play in the NFL. Good for him.
Yeah,
wish he was in Seahawk blue. But
decent stats on that one. Of course, this game had the tight end for the 49ers out, George Kittle. That makes a difference. But Jim, go to you next. Niners.
Yeah, this game was kind of strange as far as a betting angle. This game opened at 4.5 in favor of the 49ers, and it was bet down to 3. I mean, there was a 1.5 point sway on this game, which means there was Saint money coming in from somewhere.
And they're missing George Kittle. They're missing Brock Purdy. Like, these are key components, like 2 of the biggest. And they were saying McCaffrey with his leg, his ankle, his calf, is he okay? And like a lot of kind of rumblings about that throughout the week.
Yeah, but what's up with Santa Clara's defense allowing Spencer Rattler to put 21 up on him? I mean,
like Mike said, he's better than people know.
Yeah. Yeah, the over/under opened at 40.5 and was bet up to 42.5. So they had to. Somebody knew that they were going to put points on the scoreboard, and the total was 47. It still went over the total, but the 49ers historically are now 5-2 straight up against losing teams, and that's pretty much the only stat I had, other than the fact that Mac Jones started this game. And Mac Jones is not good against the spread. Mac Jones is 5-18 against the spread when he starts. So, albeit it's another football team. Like Mike said, he's playing for Santa Clara now. So, and let's make no mistake about that. They are the Santa Clara 49ers. They're 52 miles south of San Francisco, for Christ's sake, and that's as the crow flies. So yeah, we're going with Santa Clara.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, Cleveland Browns are allegedly set to build their new stadium in Brook Park. They'll be the Brook Park Browns, which will be weird, but a lot of cities are doing that.
The Brook Park Browns. That is.
It is kind of okay to hear, but like they'll still be called the Cleveland Browns, of course. Izzy went with the dark screen. I was getting ready to throw it to you, but I
got you.
Back to Izzy. There we go.
Mac Jones. I could have told you I was all over it. I made like $150 off of it. Mac Jones, I knew that he was going to play well. 280, 3 touchdowns. It's something with the backup quarterbacks, especially immobile quarterbacks in Shanahan's offense, that play astonishingly in his favor, just like how Tua does for Mike McDaniel when he's not having multiple concussions. But Christian McCaffrey had a good game. Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings had a great game. the team's really still surrounded around Christian McCaffrey and how he can perform in the run game and in the pass game. They can win games without Brock Purdy. I mean, it is the Saints. It is kind of close for the Saints. Spencer Rattler's not that bad. He played phenomenal against the 49ers defense. Fred Warner in the middle, 3 touchdowns, only missing 9 passes. So Rattler's spreading the ball out. Yeah, I mean, it's just a good team win for the 49ers. The Saints, they're still gonna finish at the end of the every NFL team, but they're fighting. They've been fighting for the past 2 weeks. So
yeah, and I think part of that has to do with having a healthy running back and Alvin Kamara back there. 99 yards rushing on the day for him, and those 3 touchdown passes for the Saints thrown to Rashid Shaheed, one of the funnest names to say. Ooh, that's fun to say. Juwan Johnson and Devon Vele with the receptions for the Saints, who drop to 0-2 on the year. Not necessarily a surprise, but they got a little bit more fight in them than many suspected. Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, another 2-0 versus 0-2. Jets drop to 0-2. Bills advance to 2-0. Of course, they had another one. But Mike, what did you take away from this one? It's the Jets and Bills. We all knew, but
yeah, not much. I mean, the Bills have since played another game last night. Bills good, Jets bad. Josh Allen MVP. Justin Fields. Did they take him out of the game? Did they take him out of the game, or did he get hurt? And
I think he got hurt, and I think it was a concussion. And Tyrod Taylor. By the way, Baker Mayfield corrected down there in Tampa, because Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback when Baker took over for him his rookie year with the Browns, and he goes, his name's Tyrod, but he won't correct you on that. I will. So it's not Tyrod, it's Tyrod.
I'm still going to call him Tyrod, but anyway,
Tyrod
Taylor. He's a good NFL quality player, solid backup guy. But he's not going to lift you to victory. And the Jets just don't have enough. They're just not that good. They're just not good. So they played their best game against the Steelers and ruined my opening week parlay, which ended my gambling career. So that's all I got to say about them. Bills good, Jets bad. Josh Allen MVP, even though he didn't have a great game. That's it.
Jim, to you.
Yeah, this game opened at Bills a favorite of 7, and most sports books it was bet down to 6.5. So there was money coming in on the Jets in order to make that number drop. 30-10. I mean the Bills handled them, pretty much as people thought it would go. The Bills are 8-2 straight up against the Jets. They're now 9-2 straight up against them, and the Jets are 1-8 straight up versus teams with a winning record. So this had if you didn't like the hook on this, the money line, was the play here.
Yeah,
and Tyrod Taylor is going to start this week, I believe. We'll probably get to that.
Yeah.
Is it Tyrod or is it Tyrod?
Brian says it's Tyrod, so we should.
Oh yeah, if it's Tyrod, his mom named him after an automobile part. So
yeah, it's been 30-40 years. I still call Hakeem Olajuwon because that's what I'm going to call him because that's his name.
Hakeem.
So Izzy, we lost Izzy somewhere, so may as well.
I found him right there. Izzy, what did you take away from the Bills and Jets here? This was last week's Bills game, not yesterday's, of course. Izzy, you need to get off team. What are you on? You're on Boost Mobile?
No, I'm on my new phone. It's just it keeps putting me in and putting me out on the thing. So
Mint Mobile.
I got a new phone. This phone costs like $1,000. So
Ryan Reynolds, Mint Mobile here.
We're talking about the Jets game. I mean, I did not watch what happened, but as far as I could see, Justin Fields had a horrible game. I felt the impact. I started Garrett Wilson over Malik Neighbors and lost my fantasy game to that. So it's not good at all. I can't see the box score on my phone, but he only completed like 3 passes. Am I correct?
Yeah, they both completed 3 passes. Tyrod Taylor, and they each were 3 for 11, I think. So
yeah, and you're an NFL quarterback completing 3 passes. I don't understand that at all.
Well,
I
no.
have no
What
idea.
you're missing is that he got a concussion. He got a
Oh,
concussion in the game.
okay. When did that concussion happen?
Well, but then again, this was Joey Bosa sacking him in the fourth quarter, causing his head to slam into the turf, immediately evaluated, and he entered the NFL concussion protocol. But that was in the fourth quarter. So, like,
Yeah, that's in the fourth quarter. So what have you been twiddling your thumbs for the first 3 quarters?
Yeah, well, part of that's the Bills playing better. I mean,
the Bills are a phenomenal team, but it's what happened with the Jets. They do not look like the same team from last week. So I wonder how they're gonna feel without Justin Fields for this week. It's going to be pretty wonky.
Yep. Jeremy Ruckert with the receiving touchdown for the Jets last week. That was thrown by Tyrod Taylor. Josh Allen, though, last week, our MVP guy, he was only 14 of 25 for 148 yards, no touchdowns. And the 2 scores, the major touchdowns for the Bills came on James Cook rushing 21 times, 132 yards, and those 2 touchdowns on the day. So, yeah, we had that other game yesterday, of course, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, Steelers, Seahawks. This is the game we've been waiting to hear from, Mike. This is your boys. Seahawks.
Well,
Seahawks.
Yeah. Again, this isn't. I would not have predicted this. I thought, even though the Steelers had some weaknesses and some flaws, I thought the Seahawks would, the way they played in week 1, they weren't going to be able to exploit those. And this is, again, going back to the statement, hey, you're neither as good nor as bad as you look in week 1. So just don't. Week 1 is a mirage. They came back. They had a much better attitude. They forced the ball down their throats. They, I knew they could probably exploit the secondary of the Steelers, because they were down 2 guys. They weren't able to cover anybody on the Jets in week 1. But I did not expect them to to be able to go in there and plaster pound them the way they kind of did. I mean, that was like the Steelers at times looked like, the little guy in federal prison. I mean, they got their butts pounded. You want to play that clip? Can you play that clip I just sent you, Brian?
Did you?
This is an example. This is Seahawks fullback Robbie Ozutz from Alabama.
I would if I could, but if I play 1 second of it, it'll shut it gets snapped.
Oh, okay. Well, but there's a clip where
please do me a favor, Mike. Can you share that on X and tag us at Strictly Football, and we'll send it back out to the Unhappy Hour?
I could probably.
You can do it in a second if you finish your wrap up.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say that I think actually what I'm gonna do is post to you guys right now. Here's a guy, rookie, 4th round pick, fullback, gets into a hole. He takes down Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson, who was a 3rd round pick last year. So he takes out 2 guys with 1 block, plasters 2 of them, pancakes them, and Ken Walker's able to run for about 15 yards. That's what they were able to do in the game. They came out with a solid determination. Sam Darnold, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, almost 300 yards. 2 interceptions, rather. The 1 interception was a deflection. I don't really think it was Darnold's fault. The guy should have handled it better. So, they basically flipped the script on him, on everybody, and they're 1-1, and that's all you can say. Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet did a pretty good job running the ball. You can't really complain about that. And so, again, you don't know who your team is until week 3 or 4. But so far, I mean, that was a good bounce back, considering how they got sand kicked in their face by Santa Clara opening day. So this is a good bounce back win for the Seahawks. And look, if Jackson Smith Najigba is not the best run after the catch guy in the NFL, I don't know who is. Maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown, but he is so, once he gets the ball, he is so quick to turn it upfield and exploit the empty spaces. That is a rare thing. He's a great route runner. He gets open. I mean, even though they kind of, everybody knows he's their only real threat on the outside or as a receiver, the guy still caught, how many passes did he catch? Let's see, 8 more receptions to go with, I think, 11 the first week. You can't cover him, and when he catches the ball, he just runs away from you. And he's got one of the quickest accelerations out of a dead stop of any player I've seen in the last 25 or 30 years.
Wow.
So
yeah, you got high praise for JSN.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm Mike Bara Najigba today, because he was so fucking good. And he's, I think he deserves recognition as a top 10 receiver. He may not be the 6'3" gazelle deep threat that's going to get the ball over the top like Malik Neighbors, but he's a really good football player. James.
There's another good attribute he has, Mike. How many receivers do you see give themselves up after they catch the ball?
Yeah.
Or they slide and make the
Yep.
catch so they don't have to get
Yeah.
tackled. I mean, I watched Ladd McConkey last week, and he gave himself up so many times just because he didn't want to get tackled.
Yeah.
But Smith Najigba, I mean, he'll just run right through him.
Yeah. And he does. And
No, I don't think he's really that big of a guy.
That unfortunately is going to shorten his career, but it is an admirable trait for a guy. You know, I hope he gets to his second contract. But I mean, right now, in my mind, he's one of the top 10 receivers in the league. And I'm not saying top 20. I'm saying top 10 receivers in this league, just with his, you know, his route running, his catching, and what he does after the catch. Man, he made Geno Smith stats the last couple of years. Great player, great young player.
And I mean, he's stepped in admirably at wide receiver 1. I mean, you got rid of someone that you thought was going to be there for the next 12 years. And, you know, look, he shipped him over to that team.
We had Doug Baldwin, who's vastly underrated. You know, it's pretty funny if you go back to Super Bowl 49, which Pete Carroll blew at the 1 yard line. You know, Doug Baldwin's pointed out, if you watch the tape, he was open on Revis all day. They just, because of the types of plays they had, he just didn't see the ball very much. Doug Baldwin was great at accelerating.
Oh my God.
Acceleration. He was one of the best. And then, you know, Tyler Lockett was terrific at that. And JSN is better than either one of those guys. So, you know, I mean,
he's from Ohio State, wide receiver university. They're pros.
And Ekeba, what's his name?
Emeka
Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka. Everybody all at once.
Emeka Egbuka.
Egbuka. Okay, there's going to be a test next week.
It appears as though Mike is frozen in thought. Izzy, take it away.
Yeah, I just found out it's coming out. Jadeveon Clowney got arrested last week.
Emeka Egbuka is
for a misdemeanor.
Imagine that.
Pretty funny.
Oh, Jadeveon Clowney just got arrested. Yeah,
no, it was last week though.
After
so
he
signed? Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Didn't the Cowboys just sign him?
Yeah, Jerry just signed him, and they're finding out that he got arrested last week.
Yeah, they were saying we're just one defensive end away from competing. And now he's arrested.
Yeah, trespass last week.
Signed him.
Well,
that
more on the game. Yeah, the Seahawks. I mean, it's a great bounce back win. I kind of want to put down 7 points on them and put them at 24-17. I'd say that's how much closer the game was. Rookie Caleb Johnson muffed the punt in the end zone. Didn't pick the ball up. I think it was a kickoff. He didn't pick the ball up. The Seahawks came down. They picked it up, and they were like, "What's happening?" And it turned into a touchdown. Literal rookie mistake. I don't know how you make that, but Kenneth Walker, he bounced that game. He looked way better. He's kind of fighting for that contract now because Zach Charbonnet had more carries than Kenneth Walker and only 10 yards, and Kenneth Walker had 90 more yards on 2 less carries. Yeah. Jackson Smith-Njigba, I completely agree. He's top 10 receiver, possibly top 7. It's still the same situation kind of a bit with Geno. He's getting open. Last week he had 100 of the 130 yards that Sam Darnold threw for. This week he has 103 of the 295. So Sam Darnold played a lot better, especially against the Steelers defense. But yeah, I mean, it was a weird game, but the Seahawks look way better this game than I expected them to look. And just a rookie mistake by Caleb Johnson. I put it more towards 24-17 as a final box score in my opinion.
Yeah, that was the decisive play of the game, and it's just that's bad coaching. I mean, you know, if you're
or a rookie mistake, both.
But if you're the special teams coach, you got to be talking to your players every single week. You have to have a meeting. Now, remember, it's a kickoff. It's a live ball. I mean, how do you not know that after 20 years of playing football? Maybe this kid Kyron Williams wasn't really a kick returner at college or high school, but you can't not emphasize that. Your players have to know the rule. And that's one of the reasons why the Patriots were so successful for so long, is because Bill Belichick and his staff just pounded. They were the smartest football team. They didn't kill themselves. They didn't beat themselves. And who knows how this game would have turned out. It might have been tied and gone to overtime, and maybe the Steelers win if it wasn't for that play. I got to kind of place that on Tomlin and his staff for having an undercoached player like that out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I completely agree with you. At least he's a rookie, so he's a rookie, so the coaches should be telling him, "Hey, don't do this, don't do that. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it." So, yeah, I agree. It's the coaching fault and his fault too. Like, he should be able to catch the ball, and
I'm sure they're doing that this week.
yeah, 100%.
What the rules are, Jalen and Lori, right?
Man, they're writing it down. Steelers fans were pissed about that. Oh my gosh.
Well, on the day, there were a couple of mistakes from Aaron Rodgers, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns on the ground. The one in the air did go to DK. Have it your way. Seattle had touchdowns from Torrey Horton and AJ Barner. And of course, Kenneth Walker, the 30, somebody I drafted in my dynasty league, 105 yards and a touchdown. Like you said, fighting for a contract extension.
If Torrey Horton hadn't torn his knee up, he probably would have been a first-round pick. He's a really talented wide receiver. And the other thing too, Jim, that I think was really significant about this game was just how ineffective they were able to make Aaron Rodgers just by kind of they just played sort of a smothering defense. And it's interesting because this could end up being a top 10 or 15 defense without a lot of names on it.
I completely agree.
Yeah, this game opened up at 2.5, and there was a lot of public money coming in on Pittsburgh. This game was bet up to 3, so there was that's usually an indication of public money coming in, and as far as football betting back east, Pittsburgh is still a strong team that people like to bet. I mean, they've got a huge fan base, and they're probably, when they travel on the road, I mean, Pittsburgh usually travels well. I mean, they've got a lot of yellow towels in the stand. But one thing that I noticed that Seattle broke a streak. It was 16-30 straight up the week after a team plays Santa Clara. So Santa Clara is probably not going to be that strong this year as far as that stat's concerned. But, Seattle played Santa Clara the first week, and they come into this game, looking at being 16-30 straight up after playing the 49ers.
Yeah. Also, Jim, they handled the Steelers. They hadn't scored on an opening drive in 22 games, the Seahawks, than they did on their opening drive this time. First time in 22 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah. Well, they covered the number handily.
All right. Let's bounce to the next game here. We had Broncos Colts.
I was just thinking about that game in my head.
Well, okay, hold on. I'm starting with Mike, but you're thinking about it in your head. You're loudest. You start with it. You love the tight end.
Yeah. I'll start it. The Broncos. They kind of got bailed out towards the end of the game. I'll put it that way. It was a weird penalty call towards the end. The kicker missed the field goal. They get closer. The kicker makes the game-winning field goal. Okay, the Colts win. I mean, if I'm a coach, I'm saying we shouldn't be that close in the first place. The media portrayed this defense to be the best defense in the league, and I completely agree with them. And they're giving them 29 points to the Indianapolis Colts. If I'm right, Daniel Jones leading this offense. Every single drive he's always put points on the board.
Wait, the whole season, every single drive?
Yeah, they have not punted the ball yet. Every single drive, they put at least a field goal on the board. And that speaks miles for a football team if you want to win games. And that's a phenomenal job by the head coach. The head coach is the quarterback guru. He brings quarterbacks from the dead. Daniel Jones played a phenomenal game.
Who was the coach you're talking about?
Oh man, I can't think of his name. He was the coach for the Vikings last year, if I'm right. Or do the Vikings have the same head coach?
Shane Steichen?
Yeah.
Talking about the Colts?
Yeah. He I forgot what team he was on last year.
He was a coordinator. He was a coordinator for the Eagles.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, but Jonathan Taylor, he's looking like his rookie self. 25 carries, 165 yards. That's awesome. Tyler Warren, 4 catches, 79 yards, leading the team. Daniel Jones is spreading the ball out to every receiver. It seems that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 receivers caught the ball that game, and they played great. As far as the Denver, they played great as well. I'm not gonna lie, they did have a great game. The red zone was kind of iffy, but they got a lot of bailout penalties from the defensive pass interference that game. So it's just it's a toss up game, and the Colts came out on top. And if Daniel Jones keeps playing like this, the sky's the limits for the Colts. I'll put it that way.
And by the way, so all 7 drives in week 1 against the Dolphins, they scored on, and then 3 out of 4 against the Broncos, the only non-scoring drive ending in a turnover on downs, but pretty darn close.
Okay.
I mean, Mike, you would take that out of your favorite team. You're scoring points on almost every drive possible. That's a good place to start. What did you take away from this? Did the Broncos lose it, or did the Colts win it?
Well, I didn't really watch much of this game, but all I'm going to say about it is I've seen Daniel Jones have some great games. He had one when the Giants came in and kicked sand in the Seahawks' faces last year. He had a great game. This is a guy with a lot of potential. He showed you this week why a lot of people liked him as a high first-round pick, why he was taken, I think, 8th overall. He's got talent with proper situation. And Jonathan Taylor is probably the reason they won this game, because his 165 yards sets up all the play action. That makes everything easier on Daniel Jones. They're good. And the Broncos defense, because they couldn't stop the run, they had a hard time holding them off. I still like Bo Nix. I don't think this game means anything, except it was 2 teams ranked about the same in talent, and the home team just slightly edged them out. So it was a good game, and that's all I can see about it.
And Jim,
Yeah, I didn't hear it, but did somebody mention the fact that this is the only team the first 2 weeks of the season there were no punts at all?
Yeah,
I mean, the punter hasn't even walked on the field.
Yeah,
yet.
I think that's what it was. The only one that they didn't score on was a turnover on down. So yeah, there's no punter used. Exactly, kind of what Izzy was getting at there.
Yeah,
that's a great way to start.
This game opened at this game opened at 2.5, making the Colts a home dog in this, and it pretty much stayed there all week. Broncos being favored by 2.5. The score was close, 28-29, albeit the Colts did handle the game. The Broncos are historically start slow, even under the Sean Payton era. I mean, they're 6-22 straight up on the road, and now they're 6-23 straight up on the road. And the first 2 weeks of the season, they're 4-10 straight up. So the Broncos are not strong the first couple of games of the season. So this game had Colts all over it as far as and as far as a betting angle, home dogs are usually a good bet. The only thing that I had that went against the Colts was in week 1 the Colts blew out the Dolphins. They hung 33, or they won the game by 33 points. Teams that win the first game of the season by 21 or more are 12-21 against the spread the next week. So
little burnout.
The Colts proved that statistic wrong in this game.
I see. Well, scoring for the Broncos in the air were Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims Jr., along with Adam Troutman. J.K. Dobbins, coming back from some injuries, another former Buckeye, 76 yards and a touchdown on the ground, 3 touchdowns for Bo Nix, 1 interception. Yeah, Danny Dimes, 316, but 1 touchdown, no big mistakes. And yeah, of course, Jonathan Taylor is looking like we want Jonathan Taylor to look, especially since I drafted him in my league. All right, Cardinals, Panthers, Mike. Cardinals get the win, go to 2-0. Panthers drop to 0-2. Cardinals are in your division. I was just saying Cardinals are in your division. So what did you take from this?
Well, I mean, again, I didn't see much of this. Great game for Bryce Young. He's starting to come around. He actually outplayed, if you ask me, Kyler Murray, from what I could tell in this game. They just got a long way to go, still building the talent around him. They gave up a lot to get Bryce Young. They're starting to slowly come around. I mean, that's Bryce Young's best game as a professional. I think you have to say 3 touchdowns,
55 attempts.
Yards. And the Cardinals are just a little more just a little bit better team right now, a little more balanced, and they went in there and they were at home and squeaked out a win. So good for them. I think Cardinals are 2-0, but I still don't think they're a very good football team, and so that's about all I have to say about it. Good for Bryce Young. He's coming around. Stick with him. Don't give up on him.
Yeah.
Keep trying to get him some help.
Jim, what say you?
Yeah. Another. This is the other corner football game. Panthers and Cardinals. Game opened up at 6.5. Cardinals being a home favorite. They did not cover that number. It was 22-27. So if you had the Panthers as a dog, you had a winner on this. The over/under was kind of high. It opened at 44.5. Was bet down to 43.5. Statistically, where the hell am I here? The Panthers, the first 2 weeks of the season, I mean, they're 2-12 straight up the first 2 weeks of the season. So if you like the Cardinals on the money line, that was the play. And the Panthers on the road, straight up on the road, they are 2-16-1 straight up. They are not a good road football team.
Well, Izzy, what do you take away from this one? Oh, there he went. Hold on. He's back. He's bouncing.
Yeah, my bad. I got to figure out the problem on my laptop. My phone's going to die soon, so I'm going to try to join on there. But
Well, give us your take on this quickly. And we'll...
Yeah, I got you with this one this quickly. I watched the end of this game. The Cardinals, they're in a dogfight with the Panthers. Bryce Young did have a better game. But the end of the game was wonky. I was in the stream with Brian, and I was telling him, like, it was like 6 flags on the Cardinals. And it kept becoming 3rd down, 4th down. Then there's a flag. There's one point where the ref even laughed at the flag. He's like, oh, my gosh, like, how many flags can I keep throwing? Oh, yep, and I'm out again. Oh, I'm still here?
You're still there.
Okay, I'm just making sure. But they could have won it. I mean, the refs kept throwing them the game late, but yeah, it's a better game for the Panthers. I could say that. Chuba Hubbard had a really good game that game. And yeah, I mean, the Cardinals, it seems like they're just going to scratch by a lot of teams if they're going to win games this year. So I'm going to try to get the situation fixed.
When in doubt, Izzy, restart. When in doubt, just hit the hard restart and just see if somebody...
Yeah, I had to charge my phone up too. So give me a second. I'll try to get back in here.
Yes, you do your thing.
They have these things called charger cords, Izzy, that you can plug your phone
the problem...
on the air.
I have a new phone, and I tried charging it. It's just blazing hot right now, so I gotta cool it down. I could try joining on my other phone though. My other phone's pretty charged up, so
all right,
give me a second.
Go ahead, you do that.
Thing going
Yeah,
right here.
Mike's, yeah, Mike's showing us how it's done. Yeah.
Another takeaway, Brian, on this
Yes.
game. One thing I forgot to mention: Kyler Murray going into this game was 3-13 straight up after winning a football game.
Wow!
So he improved that number. So he proved that number wrong. Also,
scratch that one.
He's now 4-13 straight up, which is still not good.
Well, what was good?
But it's the Panthers. It's the Panthers.
Jim, do you think that? Yeah, it was the Panthers. Do you think that implies that he gets lazy? You know, I mean, there's some questions about Murray's work ethic, and do you think that means he kind of he gets relaxed after he wins, like, oh, things are going good, and he just drops it down a notch in terms of his intensity, or what do you think that speaks to?
Yeah, maybe he celebrates after a win, and throws in a video
drinks,
game,
by the way, not anything else. So everybody knows.
Hey, John, if you're in the comments section, he's on our TNAM meme team. Please make sure you pause it right there for Mike, Bara, and Jigba and turn it into something hilarious. But nothing gross. Something silly, but not the thing that Mike thinks we're thinking. That would be a funny graphic. Yeah, this game, and you're right to bring that up, Mike, and talking about that, Jim. I mean, that was a big part of his contract with Kyler Murray. Wasn't it about how much you're going to study? And like they made a big deal out of like, bro, you're not taking it seriously. Yeah. You're not putting the work in. You're going to have to, like, it was a weird contract, maybe just like an excuse to bail if he's going to go Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, it makes you kind of question if teams if we're dropping like flies.
I know it's gonna be you and me.
If you know, it's that old adage, you know, if teams don't want that information out, they won't release it. I mean, Kyler Murray's contract, you know, with him and Mr. Bidwell, I mean, that's between him and Mr. Bidwell. You know, how would something like that in a contract get out if they didn't want it out? Are they looking, you know, it's almost like they were looking, you know, to trade the guy. But, you know, you don't let something like that, you know, and you can write anything into a contract.
And I've put weird things.
It leads you to question, why would they release something like that?
You know, when it gets dicey, when you get down to the wire, when Myles Garrett wants out, when Micah Parsons wants out, when you're trying to get Kyler, when you're trying to sign Baker, but you only want 3 years, he wants 5, he wants an ultramax, you try to give him it gets wonky. People will release things to get a little bit of leverage or to get some public support and a little bit, I don't know, it just gets wonky. But look, they're 2-0. So we can't hate on them too much, but you know, you beat the Panthers who threw for 55 times on the day. So that sort of tells you a little bit. The scoring plays on that one, Hunter Renfrow had 2 touchdowns, a nice resurgence for Hunter. Good to see that. Hubbard with a touchdown in the air as well. Bryce Young, 3 touchdowns on the day and 1 interception. James Conner ran it in once on the ground, only 34 yards on the ground. And Michael Wilson put it in the reception column for the Cardinals. All right, Eagles, Chiefs. Hey, who called that the Chiefs were going to be bad this year? This guy. They're 0-2. They're 0-2, Mike. 0-2 Chiefs. Eagles take them down. Now, losing to the Eagles is that's fine. No reigning champs, but still.
And we thought, you know, I think I took the Eagles in that game simply because I just didn't think the Chiefs were very good right now. But I mean, you know, I've had people they're criticizing Jalen Hurts. So he had 101 yards passing, but he completed the balls when he needed to make the plays. He makes plays other ways with his feet. He gets first downs with a tush push. He's extremely effective, and they won the game, and their defense is still really good. And, you know, people are like, what's wrong with Patrick Mahomes? Well, you're seeing what Patrick Mahomes is when he doesn't have Hall of Fame talent around him. And I'm including his head coach in that, who's a Hall of Fame schematic guy, a Hall of Fame play caller, situational play caller. He had, you know, Tyreek Hill. He's had other first-round pick receivers there. He's had Travis Kelce. He's got talent around him. He doesn't have talent around him right now. There's a lot of injuries. Rashee Rice is out, of course, with his suspension. I just don't like the way things are trending in Kansas City. I don't think it's Mahomes as much as it is. Mahomes is coming down to earth a little bit. And I you know, that's a long-term overall kind of comment. But the Chiefs, you know, they need a receiver. You look at their receiving numbers. I mean, Hollywood Brown, 5 catches for 30 yards. That's a 6-yard average. That's like the average of a running, like a fullback who's like the third down blocking guy who then rolls out and gets the dump off pass if there's nothing downfield. That's that kind of average. Hollywood Brown's supposed to be an outside receiver. He's supposed to be DK Metcalf. You know, and DK, by the way, had a shit, you know, he didn't do shit against the Seahawks, which is funny. That's one of the reasons why we got rid of him. But, I mean, I think DK is still a lot more effective getting downfield than Hollywood Brown. So it's like he's fading away. The guys they have aren't very good. If I'm the Chiefs, man, I'm looking around for a receiver. I'm the first people on the phone to the Dolphins. You're 0-3 now. You're not going to the playoffs. What do you want for Tyreek Hill? I mean, that's me if I'm the Chiefs, because they need something on the outside to pick their game up. They only, 17 points. Well, the Eagles are a very effective defense, but it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. And I don't care if you're playing the Eagles. You're 0-2, 20% chance of making the playoffs. You better make some shifts now. You better make some changes. So it doesn't look like they're going to. They haven't done anything this week. Let's see what happens if they go 0-3.
Yeah, that's true. Jim, well, in this season, a little emblematic. There was that play Travis Kelce ran over his receiver and injured him, knocked him out of the game, right? Temporarily, or he was out for the whole game, a shoulder injury. So, I mean, they're just not quite firing on all cylinders, Jim. The Chiefs aren't quite the Chiefs of the Super Bowl years, it seems.
No, they're not. I mean, this game opened at 1.5, and it pretty much stayed there all week. as far as the Eagles being favored by 1.5. Not a real high scoring game here. The over under was 46.5. The total ended up being 37. Statistically, the Chiefs were just all over the Eagles statistically on this game, but nothing came to fruition. I mean, probably the most outstanding stat on this game was the Chiefs were 15-1 straight up with an extra day of rest. You know, which they had a couple of extra days of rest. You know, recovering from that Thursday night debacle in Brazil. You know, against San Diego. But historically, Andy Reid in September and Mahomes, I mean, they're just pretty much money in the bank. They were 26-5. Reid is 26-5 straight up in September. Mahomes is 18-3 straight up in September. So as far as the stats go, but you know they're playing the Super Bowl champs, and this was a rematch of the Super Bowl. But I think all of us pretty much had the Eagles winning this game straight up.
Yeah, they're just a much better team at this point. Game, let's see. At that game, yeah, Mahomes 187 yards. I mean, Baker's outplaying Mahomes. Mahomes is, I don't know. I've always, whatever. I've thought Mahomes has been overrated. He's won his championships fine, but I just, whatever. 1 touchdown, 1 interception on the day. He did run in 1 touchdown run, 7 carries, 66 yards on the day. He led his team. He doubled up Kareem Hunt's 31 yards. So that's a issue. They're not able to run the ball. Of course, nobody's really running the ball on the Eagles either. So let's give them a little bit of slack. Saquon did run it, 88 yards and a touchdown on the day. Jalen Hurts had a rushing touchdown on the day. And Tyquan Thornton caught the reception in the air for the Chiefs. So yeah, 2-0 Eagles, 0-2 Chiefs. Let's see if they get a chance to rematch, but they got a lot of work to do if they want to make that happen. Falcons, Vikings. Falcons get the win. Vikings did next to nothing in this game offensively. 6 points, Mike. You know, now we're looking at the quarterback going, well, maybe you should have kept Sam Darnold. Now he's on Mike's favorite team, balling out there.
I hate to say I told you so, Vikings fans, but I told you so. And J.J. McCarthy is not it. Even before he got injured, and now he's out 4 weeks. Even before he got injured, I told you he wasn't it. He wasn't the right move. They should have just kept him on the bench. They should have signed Aaron Rodgers because they had a little bit of a Super Bowl window. He looked great week 1. Your window is now closed. You're probably going to go 0-3 or 0-4 over this next stretch because I don't even know who the fuck your backup quarterback is. And J.J. McCarthy's just not that good, and he gets hurt a lot. And Michael Penix Jr. is a terrific player, and the Falcons played really good, and March 28th notwithstanding. And, you know, I'm not surprised by this result. It's a shame McCarthy got injured, but I don't believe in him. And so, you know, I just got to say, I think that I think that things do not look good up there in my former hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, I mean, it was a predictable result for me. And now we got to see what happens.
I didn't know you lived in Minnesota, Mike.
7 years, yeah.
7 years?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Okay.
Yeah. You have a lot of Somalian neighbors up there?
Not at that time.
Not at that time. It's amazing how that happens. What did you take away from this, Jem? 22 points for the Falcons, 6 for the Vikings.
Yeah, this game opened at 4.5 home favorite with the Vikings, and it was bet down to 3.5. So somebody knew something. So going from 4.5 to 3.5, they were encouraging that game to be bet on the other side with the Vikings. So the money was more than likely on the Falcons. The Falcons improved their stat though as far as playing games on the road. They coming into this game, the Falcons were 7-18 straight up on the road, and they just improved that to 8-18. Still not great, but I think Mike is right. I think Penix is probably the change in this team. And as far as the backup quarterback for who are the Vikings going to start this week?
The Vikings are going to start veteran Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Correct.
And the quarterback is going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks He has
Well, it's
a
a high
very,
ankle.
very sore.
It's a high ankle sprain, right? Is that what it was? Yeah, that's 4 weeks.
Yeah, it was a high ankle sprain, right ankle, and he's saying it's very, very sore specifically.
Yeah, 4 weeks. It probably is going to be 6. Yeah, minimum. I mean, high ankle sprain is basically a broken leg, basically. So, yeah, no, that's bad. And he was terrible. He was terrible, before. So, I just think the Vikings front office just screwed this up. I think that's why Aaron Rodgers took so long to sign with the Steelers, because he was waiting for the Vikings to call. And he was like, okay, I can go in there, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. I can do things with that team. And they didn't see it that way. And now your season is screwed, Vikings fans. I just hate to tell you that.
As the great Neil Peart would say, the men who hold high places must be the ones who start.
That's correct.
So
and
Carson Wentz is going to bail his career out.
Are we quoting Neil Peart? Neil Peart, the drummer from Rush?
Exactly.
Greatest drummer that ever lived, Neil Peart.
And Jim, the reason
Danny
that
Carey has entered the chat, but okay.
The reason that money came in on the Falcons, the Falcons, at the end of the week is because the smart guys, they're watching his show and they're figuring it out by watching his show.
Are you saying that the Sharks watch the show?
They listen to you. I'm saying we're having an impact here.
Mm-hmm. And we need to tweet this stuff out. Make sure everybody's following us at TDAM Football, and we always share out Seahawk Boy Mike B and Mike Bara 3333333 is his account over there, and of course we're the Unhappy Hour _. There's another injury in Minnesota, by the way. Minnesota. Aaron Jones is injured. He's on IR. He's going to miss at least 4 games. So we'll see how that goes. It's a hamstring injury that hurts my fantasy football team. Not a big fan of that. But yeah, not a lot of scoring on the day. 2 interceptions from J.J. McCarthy. Tyler Algier punched one in. He had 76 yards rushing. Bijan Robinson, 143 yards on 22 carries, looking really good there. And he's good. It's good in the air. He's a great target. He's a great weapon. It's just, can they put it all together? They're 1-1. They're fighting. Of course, they lost to Baker and the boys the week before. But, it's going to be competitive with the Falcons. I think they're better than people realize. Well, I did just mention the Buccaneers, so let's talk about them. Buccaneers, Texans. This was a 1-point game. Man, there's a lot to take away in this game. I liked the strategy component at the end. Nick Chubb goes in for that touchdown, Mike, and you're like, wow, Nick Chubb's got it. Oh, my gosh, they just won. And you went, hold on. That was the play. Nick Chubb famously did that for the Browns, running in for the touchdown, and he slid down at the 2-yard line to burn the clock and win the game. In this case, he ran it in for the touchdown, leaving enough time for Baker to go down and get the game-winning go-ahead touchdown. So, what did you make of this game? It was very fun to watch, very competitive.
Well, before the season started, when we did our season preview show, I said I think it's going to come down to the Texans and Tampa Bay for that AFC South or NFC South. And
Texans are in the AFC, Buccaneers are in the NFC.
But well, that's right. I thought this game was going to be a critical game. Sorry, I meant Atlanta and Tampa Bay. But
right.
That's what I should have said. But the thing is, I thought Tampa and Houston were at an equivalent level, and they're not. And I saw an interesting analysis where basically somebody was saying, look, the problem in Houston right now is the coaching. And that, they got CJ Stroud in the wrong system, the wrong plays, the wrong types of plays, the wrong guys around him, and they're just not doing it right. I don't know exactly what that means, but, they're saying that it needs to be more play action. They can't really run the ball. But, I don't think CJ is the problem at all. I just think they're not that. What's his name?
Okay, hold on. Mike, you froze there for a second. Emeka Egbuka. Can you restart that thought? You froze for about 6 seconds.
How do you let Emeka Egbuka, who is Baker's new favorite receiver, get that open on the last play? It's just bad. Or the last touchdown pass. It's bad. And, Tampa just is a solid all-around team. Houston has some holes, and we can see that they're not filled. So, Houston, you're probably not going to the playoffs unless your quarterback picks you up on his back. But it seems like this season's off to a similar pattern to last season, and there probably needs to be some more changes there at the top.
And by the way, speaking of Ibuka, he did appear to tweak something during the game. He was briefly evaluated on the sidelines, finished for 4 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Limited in Friday's practice, sat out practice Wednesday, Thursday. So he's been dealing with hip and groin injuries. Add to that Chris Godwin's injuries. It's a little tough for the receivers there at the moment. And Baker, that one play Baker was running, when he went down, I feared the worst, going, oh no. And he heard that guy in his ear that's been jawing him for years on the Lions, Gardner something. He jumped right up and got in his face. And I don't know, man. Baker's showing a lot of toughness, Jim. What did you take away from this one?
He's a winner. He's an ultra competitive guy, and that's why I really wanted him on the Seahawks. He has that Russell Wilson level of competitiveness. He hates to lose, Baker does, and that's why I loved him and wanted him. But now he's in Tampa.
I wish my Browns still had him. I promise you that. Jim, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'll add on to what Mike said. I think this was a terribly coached game by the Texans. D'Amico Ryans, he was the consummate example of deer in the headlights. The camera was on him all the time, and his eyes, he looked like Mike Singletary. He was getting ready to come over the line. His eyes were just as big as saucers, and my biggest takeaway of this game, and the reason the Texans lost this game, that's the look, Brian. The reasons the Texans lost this game, in the fourth quarter, there was 10 minutes and so many seconds left, and they were 4th and long, the Texans. And they could have kicked a field goal here, and if they had kicked this field goal, they'd win this game by 2. And they elected not to kick the field goal, and Stroud ended up passing into the left side of the end zone into double coverage and totally missed the guy. This was just a bad call all the way. They took 3 points off the board. They should have kicked that field goal, and they still would have been down by 1 at this point in the game. But there's still over 10 minutes left to play in the game. They're going to get the ball back.
And that's the other thing too.
Game away.
When you're on the road and you're in, it's one thing if it's a 54-yard field goal and your odds of making that are 50-50 or something. But when you're on the road and you got points in front of you, you always take the points. And that now everybody's like, oh, let's go for it on 4th down and all this analytics bullshit. And again, how many games have been lost because coaches don't do that anymore?
The Texans were home in the Dome, and I had Baker on the money line in this game. I thought Baker was going to win the game. I thought the Buccaneers were going to win this game. It just comes down to coaching. Ryans just looked like he was. I don't want to go out on a limb here, but I think after Mike McDaniel is terminated, I'm going to go out on a limb. I think if the Texans don't start getting their shit together, they're going to start looking real hard at D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, and okay, sorry, that was a home game.
That's just my prediction here.
Yeah, I flipped. It was a home game, but it's the same principle. When you're when you've got a gimme field goal, you take it in any close game. So
take the points. They would have won the game by 2 if they had kicked that field goal.
Well, do you guys remember the AFC Championship game? I think it was the game against the Colts in 2006, maybe, when Colts Patriots. Was it that game when basically the Colts went on to win the Super Bowl? Or it might have been the Broncos. It was the Broncos Colts in 2015. And Bill Belichick is down inside the 10 or 15 yard line, right? 3 times in the fourth quarter, and he goes for it on 4th down every time, doesn't get any of them. That's 3 field goals. They would have won the game if they'd just taken field goals in all 3 of them. And it's like, you just don't give away easy points that are staring you in the face, even if it's only 3 points.
Yeah, well, that's where they came up with the term definition of insanity. Belichick just proved that point.
Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. D'Amico Ryans, he did a great job beating the Cleveland Browns when we made our playoff run 2 years ago. We were primed, we were playing well, and we just ran into a buzzsaw. They seemed to have our number. I don't know if we were tipping them off. They just played a fantastic game to knock us out of the first round of the playoffs. It's interesting to see the fall from grace. Curious to see if he will last the season. It was just interesting because Chubb didn't have to go in for that touchdown. He could have gone down at the 2-yard line. They could have taken a knee. Maybe they didn't have confidence in their kicking game to just knock in a chip shot and just run out the clock, and you either lose it or win it, but you control the final play. Kind of surprised they didn't call that play. And that is a specific call the coaches call in. So that, if so, look, we know that if Nick Chubb is told you get your ass down on the 2-yard line, if they let you go in, don't take the bait. They didn't call that play. So that goes to exactly what you're saying, Jim. That's a coaching error. I want to point out, in addition to Emeka Ibuka being injured for my second favorite team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as I root for Baker, there are 3 starters on that offensive line who were out. Tristan Wirfs, left tackle, knee, out since offseason surgery. Luke Goedeke, right tackle, foot. He's on injured reserve, out at least 4 games. And Cody Mauch, right guard, knee, on injured reserve, out for the season. So a lot of these highlights, you saw Baker running for his damned life. There's a reason for that. That line is in shambles. So it's going to be a storyline to keep up on as the season develops. But, 2-0 Buccaneers, 0-2 Texans. It was a great game. It came down to the wire. Baker's now had 2 back-to-back games come from behind victories. I think that's 13 in his career. People used to give him a knock like, oh, Baker can't win the big game. Baker can't come from behind. It's like Baker can do it all. He could win a Super Bowl if the situation is right. It's a team sport. You got 10 other guys on your side. So, I'm just really happy for him succeeding over there. Final game of last week, Chargers beat the Raiders 20-9. Chargers go to 2-0 on the season, and the Raiders drop to 1-1. Mike?
Well, again, Seahawks fans, I've been telling you for 3 years, in spite of his 2022 season, who Geno Smith was, and now I was fucking right about the whole thing. This is Geno. Pretty good. Everybody acts like he was great in week 1. He wasn't great. He was okay. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. To me, that's not great. That's average. He was utterly terrible in this game. He was the Geno Smith that Seahawks fans know and don't love, except some of them. No touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 37 quarterback rating. That is horrendous. What's his passer rating for the season so far? Let me look at it.
Geno Smith QBR 37.6, ranked 27.
QBR is a joke. I only interested in passer rating. Let's go to stats. The passer rating this year so far is 66. That's pretty terrible. 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. That's Geno. Physically, he can do everything. He doesn't have it between the ears. And again, Jim Harbaugh got a good, solid team. He's got Justin Herbert as a quarterback. And, they just smothered the Raiders offense. And that's all it comes down to. They just weren't very good. They were better. Jim Harbaugh is now 3-5 as a professional head coach against Pete Carroll. He was 2-5. Good for Jim Harbaugh. So, not much to say about it beyond that.
Jim, what say you?
Yeah, Geno was atrocious. I mean, Mike, how many times did you see him throw into triple and 4-way coverage? I mean, it was just unbelievable. I mean, he threw in the end zone into 4-way coverage, and I don't think San Diego didn't catch the ball, but neither did Oakland. But
Las Vegas.
Geno Smith, going back, talking about Smith, going back to his days in Seattle. I mean, he's 4-12-1 against the spread at home. So the play was definitely not on Oakland, last week. But San Diego is not that great versus teams with winning records.
Hey,
I mean,
this was not San Diego.
4-7 straight up, but they're 4-7 straight up.
Oakland. This was not San Diego against Oakland. This was not San Diego against Oakland. This was Las Vegas against LA.
By the way, I'm wearing my Indians shirt today, my Indians jersey. Jose Ramirez is the last player who played on the Indians before they changed their name.
By the way, I'm wearing my great Great Race shirt.
Yeah, push the
today.
button, Max. Yeah, that's funny.
The great Jack Lemmon.
They are always going to be the Oakland Raiders to me and the San Diego Chargers. But
And they're the San Diego Chargers.
Well, the Chargers had 2 touchdowns in the air, one to Quentin Johnson having a nice season, and Keenan Allen having a resurgence. Another touchdown for him, receiving Omarion Hampton and Najee Harris split carries, and not a whole lot on the ground for them. But yeah, definitely less going on for the Raiders, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is you look at the Raiders overall, right? And look, I'm going to tell you, I think the thing is holding them back is the quarterback, and I think that's the team that's going to hold them back. So, you know, if the Bears really want to dump Caleb Williams, man, if I was the Raiders, I'd be all over that shiz, because Geno is not the answer.
And you know, Tom Brady sitting there in the owner's box saying, "Hey, man, if there's a chance to, I don't know, we'll see if the Bears are going to be that quick to bail on their high draft pick."
Yeah,
but
they might be. But I'll tell you what, Tom Brady is not rubbing off on Geno Smith. He's not.
No, it hasn't happened yet. Now, Deshaun Watson rubbing off on someone, that got him into a little legal trouble. But that's a different story.
You guys said rubbing off.
Yeah.
Very intentional.
Do we want to do Jim's betting stuff now?
Let me switch over to that.
I can, or do you have it? Or
I do have it. Yeah, you shared it and then I retweeted it. So let's pull it up here. Share this tab instead. Broncos Chargers giving 2.5. Let me go bigger screen.
No, I think go to the next one. Go to the next picture because I think they're in reverse order. I think.
Oh, okay. Let's start with Dolphins Bills.
But that's already been adjudicated.
Dolphins Bills. This game was already played.
Yeah.
Adjudicated. All right. Good phrase.
What did the trends say though?
Yeah.
The trends did say Bills, right?
Tua is 2-10 straight up as a dog. So he's now 2-11 straight up. The number opened at 12.5, and it went to 11.5, encouraging money to come in on the Bills. The Dolphins are 8-22 against the spread as an underdog. Tua is 4-10-1 straight up versus teams with winning records. And the Dolphins are now 1-16 straight up versus teams with winning records. 1-16. The Bills are now 12-1 straight up at home. They are 14-8 against the spread. Bills are 13-2 straight up versus the Dolphins. They're now 14-2 straight up. The Bills are now 9-0 straight up at home against the Dolphins. The Bills are 5-3-1 against the spread versus the Dolphins. And double-digit favorites are 16-2 straight up. So this game was already played. It was there were thunderstorms in the area. It was, I guess, at game time. It was 91 degrees at game time. So.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know what to say about that game. It was the Dolphins kept it closer than I thought they would. But what about
the
Colts
Dolphins
Titans?
ended up covering. So.
What about Colts Titans?
Colts Titans. This game opened at 3.5. It's been bet up to 4.5 now. The Titans are 3-16 against the spread. They are 0-9 against the spread at home. And the Colts historically are 4-0 straight up against the Titans. I don't like the 4.5. I think the Colts are tasty on the money line. I think the Colts are been pretty impressive the last couple of weeks. So I think the play here would be Colts on the money line. I don't like the
Colts
4.5.
money line? Yeah.
If it was Colts 3, I'd go ahead and lay the 3. Game time, it's supposed to be 89 degrees and partly cloudy.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm writing that down. Colts money line. Yep.
Yeah, Colts money line. I would put them on a parlay on the money line. The next game, I got the Falcons. This game opened at 4.5. Falcons and Panthers. This is a division game. This has been bet up to 5.5. The Falcons are 8-18 straight up on the road. They're not a good road team, but this is a division game. I think the number is a little big here, making the Panthers a 5.5-point home dog. And the weather at game time is supposed to be 81 degrees and partly cloudy.
So, I mean,
this is not a game that.
Yeah, I like the Falcons in this game.
Is this
but
a game you would?
I'm not giving 5.5, even to the Panthers.
No, that's a big number. That's a big number. If you're going to take this game, I would bet them on the money line. I'm not going to make a play on this game. Next game, I've got the Raiders and the Redskins. The Redskins opened at -3. They're now 3.5. Game time is supposed to be 79 degrees and partly cloudy. The Redskins are 14-8 against the spread. Jaden Daniels did not practice yesterday. I don't know if he practiced today. I don't expect him to start in this game. He is going to be more than likely out with a sprained knee. So Marcus Mariota will more than likely start this game.
Yeah. Marcus Mariota.
Again, I'm not going to make a play on this game either.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that game. A lot of backup quarterbacks starting now this week.
Yes.
Jaden Daniels will not play against the Raiders, knee sprain.
Yeah.
So you definite. That's what they're saying so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be Marcus Mariota playing against his old team.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Redskins, but I just really don't know what's happening in that game. That's weird. That's just a weird game.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Moving on, Packers and Brian's Browns.
Yes.
Game time is going to be 78 degrees and partly cloudy. The Packers opened at 7.5. They've been bet down, checked out. They opened at 8.5. They've been bet down to 7.5. So the number opened kind of high. So they went ahead and lowered that number. The Packers are 17-3 straight up the first 3 weeks of the season. So the Packers' first 3 weeks of the season start out pretty strong. The NFC North is 29-19-1 against the spread versus non-division opponents. Green Bay is 9-4 straight up when favored by 4 points or more. And Cleveland is 17-31 against the spread after a loss. So almost 2-1 there.
If I could get 8.5, I might consider taking the Browns in that game. But what do you think?
Oh yeah, you're asking Jim, but I like the Browns. I think the Browns are simmering in. We got a lot of rookies playing, and look, Flacco can still air it up. He's still putting a lot of yards up there. Of course, still the interceptions, but what do I think? I bet on the Browns all the time to my own peril, of course, but I think the Browns will be a little bit more competitive. They have the potential to. Of course, the defensive ends coming.
Yeah, weather's not going to be a factor.
Joe the statue. It'll, be tricky.
Weather's not going to be a factor in this game, but if I were to bet the game, in fact, on one of my tickets, I've got the Packers on the money line. So there's not going to be a big payoff because of the number, but it went from 8.5 to 7.5.
By the way, Jim, one of my big takeaways when I'm looking up there and you're putting partly cloudy, if you glance at it, it looks like P. Diddy, P-D-D-Y, like at a glance, because C-L, it almost looks like the D. It's irrelevant, but it was something that cracked me up. So now you got to see it. P. Diddy, partly cloudy.
Like you just adjust your fonts, Brian. You'll be all right.
I got to adjust my life. All right. What about Bengals, Vikings? Bengals, no Burrow.
Bengals.
Vikings
Bengals,
with no
Vikings.
JJ. I mean, this is the battle of the backups, I guess.
This game opened at 3.5. It's been bet up to, or it opened at 2.5. It's been bet up to 3. So they're encouraging Bengal money on this game. The Bengals are 18-2 against the spread as a dog of 3 points or more. Again, these most important player on both of these teams, more so the Bengals, is the fact that, Joe Burrow is out, and Jake Browning's going to be starting on this game. 8-2 against the spread as a dog of 3 points or more. A lot of these stats are not going to matter just because of the quarterback starting. We discussed this before. Carson Wentz is going to be starting. J.J. McCarthy's out. And again, the NFC Central is 29-19-1 against the spread versus non-division opponents. I'm going to leave this game alone. There's a lot better games, to waste your money on than this game. There's too many uncertainties.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it and say Carson Wentz is a better player than Jake Browning, so you got to favor the Vikings, and they're at home, right? It's in Minnesota, so but
yeah.
But you don't touch it with two backup quarterbacks who've hardly played,
No.
years. So, yeah, not touching that one.
No, take a quarter out of your pocket and flip it in the air.
Yeah.
Next game, Rams at Eagles. Again, outdoor game, 78 degrees, partly cloudy. This game opened at 3.5 and pretty much has stayed there. The Eagles favored by 3.5. The Eagles are 15-8 against the spread. Probably the most notable stat on this, Jalen Hurts is 17-0 straight up as a home favorite. 17-0. I don't like the half point here, but this is a strong money line bet. So my play on this game would be Eagles on the money line.
Really? Because all right.
Yeah, 17-0 straight up as a home favorite.
I think Mike has a different inclination there. I think you're feeling something different on that one.
Well, we'll talk about it when we get to our picks. But yeah, I'm not betting the game. No, I actually, if I'm the Rams and I'm getting 3.5, I'm taking that all day.
Okay. In Philly.
Okay, that's why I don't. That's why I don't like the hook, But I'll take the Eagles at home on the money line. Jets and Buccaneers. Buccaneers opened at 6.5, and it's pretty much stayed there. 91 degrees in Tampa Sunday afternoon, and thunderstorms. The Jets are 1-8 straight up versus teams with winning records. Justin Fields is not expected to play. We talked about that earlier. Tyrod Taylor is going to start this game more than likely. The Buccaneers are 12-4 straight up as a home favorite. So I like the Bucs. I don't like the number. I like the Bucs on the money line. I think Todd Bowles is a much better coach, and I think Baker is a much better quarterback here. So
that is true. And by the way, here's Baker from earlier.
Baker, after you heard that they ruled out Justin Fields, we're going to be Tyrod Taylor on Sunday. Just obviously, your first game came against the Jets against Todd. Just want to ask you about what you remember about playing with him your first year in Cleveland.
It's correctly pronounced Tyrod, but he doesn't correct people. No, he's awesome guy. Really good leader, veteran presence that was instrumental for me in the midst of a chaotic first year in Cleveland. That somebody I relied on a lot, so I have a ton of respect for him. Just the way he's able to command and operate. So obviously Justin presents different challenges, but Tyrod is able to, do his own thing. He's played a lot of ball, been everywhere, different systems. So that'll be a good matchup.
Tyrod. There we go.
We've established it as Tyrod. All right. What else, Jimmy?
Texans and Jaguars. Jaguars opened at -1.5, and it's pretty much stayed there all week. Again, outdoor game, 86 degrees in Jacksonville Sunday, partly cloudy. I look for Houston to bounce back in this game. The Texans are 8-2 straight up versus the Jaguars. The Texans are 5-0 straight up versus Jacksonville, the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So the last 5 years, the Texans have owned the Jaguars in Jacksonville, 5-0. So I am going to make a play on the Texans this week, and I'll go ahead and take that 1.5.
Okay, next slide.
Yes, slide.
Next game, Broncos and Chargers, division game. Chargers are opened as a 2.5-point favorite. It's been bet up to 3. So they're trying to encourage Bronco money to come in on this. The Broncos are terrible on the road. They're 6-23 straight up on the road. And the Broncos are 17-25 against the spread. So the play here, 3 is not a terribly large number. It is a division game. So if you have the inclination to bet this game, I would go ahead and take San Diego. I am not personally going to play this game. Saints and or Seahawks. Seahawks opened at -7. They've been bet up to 7.5, which is a big number. Teams that played Santa Clara the week before are 17-30 straight up the week after. The Saints played Santa Clara last week. This game is going to be 69 degrees at game time with rain. So New Orleans is an indoor team, as everybody knows, and it's forecasted to rain in Seattle. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So I'm not absolutely happy about the 7.5, but I do like Seattle on the money line here to win the game. Moving on, Cowboys are now a 1.5 favorite versus the Bears.
Only 1.5 points, Cowboys Bears.
1.5 favorite. Now, this game is strange. This game opened Chicago -1.5 at the beginning of the week. The last couple of days, this line has moved 3 points. It's now Cowboys favored by 1.5.
Why would the Bears
open the Bears as being a favorite? No one understood this. Yeah, it opened 1.5 Bears. It's now Cowboys 1.5. That's a 3-point swing in this game. The Cowboys are 5-17 straight up as a dog. The Bears are 12-33 straight up. Teams that played Detroit the week prior are 5-10 straight up, and they are 2-13 against the spread the week after. So the Bears played Detroit last week. The NFC Central is 29-19-1 against the spread versus non-division opponents. 78 degrees in Chicago Sunday with thunderstorms.
Mike, can you understand why the Bears are favored 1.5? Obviously, it moved by 3 points, but what am I missing?
Well, okay, so the thing you're missing is one thing you have to factor in is the desperation factor, and it is desperation time for the Bears. They have to win the game, so I think that's a factor.
The Bears are favored?
Yeah,
they were to start, and it swung 3 points, is what you said.
Yeah, because Jalen Johnson's out.
Yeah,
the beginning of the week, the Bears opened at 1.5. Now, as a result of that, well, shake your head, but they did open at 1.5. All the sports books had the Bears favored by 1.5. I'm not saying the line's correct, but that's the number.
Yeah.
The money, the local money and the sharps have bet the Cowboys to 1.5. So there's a 3-point spread on this game.
I'm lost. You're speaking another language right now.
1.5 Cowboys. So the
Okay,
Cowboys
so-
is the right side in this game.
So the Bears were favored by 1.5. Now the Cowboys are favored by 1.5. That's a 3-point swing. So people are saying the money's coming in on the Cowboys.
Okay.
The money is coming in on the Cowboys. So what they're
All right.
trying to do by making the Cowboys a favorite, they're trying to discourage any more money coming in on the Cowboys. And we talked about this probably last week. You know, the goal of the sports books is to have an even amount of money on both sides. Correct. That's
because the
where
house
they make
wins.
money because they're not making money on bets. They're making money on the juice from the bets. So if they have an even amount of money on both sides of the game, the casino is going to win 100% of the time. And that's what they're trying to encourage. They're encouraging more money to come in on Chicago right now.
All right. Yeah.
David likes Dallas a little bit more. Can't trust the Bears. All right.
Yeah, I got to be in like a Giants again.
Yeah.
All right. Cardinals, Niners.
Hey, Cardinals, Santa Clara. Santa Clara opened at -1.5. They're going to be the home team. They've been bet up to 2.5. 79 degrees at game time and sunny in Santa Clara. Kyler Murray is 22-9 against the spread on the road. He is 4-13 straight up after a win. That's why this number is so close in this game. Mac Jones is 6-18 against the spread, and Mac Jones again is projected to start in lieu of Purdy. If you like betting over unders in this game, this game opened at 44.5. It's been bet up to 45.5. So they expect a lot of scoring in this game. Division game -2.5. If you like Santa Clara, I would go ahead and lay the number here. 2.5. 2.5 is not a damaging number for a division game.
All right.
Giants.
Chiefs Giants. Chiefs opened at 5.5-point favorite on the road in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It was bet up to -6 now. The Chiefs playing in being the visiting team against the Giants. Game time, 69 degrees, partly cloudy. Andy Reid is 26-6 straight up in September. Patrick Mahomes is 18-4 straight up in September. But in the last 16 games, the Chiefs are 5-11 against the spread. Patrick Mahomes is 20-5 straight up after losing a game. The biggest number statistically in this game, the Giants are 1-16 straight up Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night. 1-16. And Wilson is 15-4 against the spread as a home dog.
You know what
I'm going to go. This is going to be my hedge game here. I like the Chiefs on the money line in this game. They can conceivably lose 3 in a row, but I don't see them losing 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And the Giants. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, one thing you should look at is Russell Wilson versus Patrick Mahomes. I do think Russell Wilson actually has the career edge. If not, it's very tight. It's like 3-2 or 4-3. Russ plays well against Mahomes, and he's beaten him at least a couple times I can remember. So I would say I kind of like the Giants and the 5.5 on that one, but I don't know if I'm going to bet it. We'll see.
Well, if you like them, you're going to get 6 now. So 6 is a much better number.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I kind of like that. But we'll see. Also, Andy Reid and Mahomes, 26-6 straight up in September. Andy Reid, Mahomes, 18-4. Yeah, but they're 0-2 in September in 2025. So
yeah, I'm not enamored. I'm not enamored with this game, but if I were to use this game, I would use it as a hedge bet. I would throw this game on maybe a 3-team parlay and make it into a 4-team. And then once your 3 teams go ahead and lock up the ticket, just go ahead and you can go ahead and bet the other side and lay a minimal amount of money on the Giants. Because
I'm looking at
laying
a
say to win $100, on the money line with the Giants, you would probably only have to lay $28, $30 to win your $100 back. So this would be a hedge game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wait and bet that as a hedge game. Giants.
Right. Correct. I wouldn't say it was a top bet of the week, but it's tasty as a hedge game to protect your ticket.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a 16 parlay going here now.
Oh no, I thought you said you were done last week, Mike. You said my betting career's over.
We'll see. I'm thinking about it. All right, Jim. What's the last game? Lions Ravens. How do you see Lions Ravens?
Lions Ravens. This game opened at 5.5. It's been bet down to 5. Ravens are favored by 5 points at this time. Again, East Coast games are pretty much all the same. 69 degrees, partly cloudy. The Lions are 38-12 straight up. The Lions are 13-7 against the spread. Jared Goff is 19-5 against the spread on the road. Dan Campbell is 12-4 against the spread in September. Again, the NFC Central they're 29-19 and 1 against the spread versus non-division opponents. Ravens are pretty strong on their side. Also, Lamar Jackson is 25-9 straight up. Ravens are 95-30 straight up as a home favorite. Jackson is 23-26 against the spread as a home favorite, kind of 50-50 there. Jackson is 24-2 straight up versus the NFC. That's the most glaring stat on this game. 24-2 straight up against the NFC.
Wow.
So if I were going to play this game, I do not like the game, but this game can also be used as a hedge game since it's the last game on the board. This is going to be the Monday night game. So all your games on your ticket will have been played, and if you got this game on the hedge, if you had Ravens -5, it's easy just to throw a bet down on the Lions to protect your bet.
All right. Well, there we are. Betting tips. What is it? Trends. Betting trends.
Betting trends for week 3.
There we are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
I like the Colts on the money line. I like the Falcons on the money line. Izzy, you talked me into the Colts.
I mean, the Colts are talking themselves into the Colts too. Izzy was early money on the Colts. We can say that.
He was ahead of us. So now, Texans, I'm getting 1.5. I think they're going to be desperate. Rams getting 3.5. I think it's a 3-point game. So I think I got a good one there. Bucks on the money line. And my hedge bet is Giants and 6 points. So
yeah, I'll be playing the Colts. The Colts is a real strong bet. I like the Packers on the money line this week. The Eagles, I like the Eagles against Mike's Rams, on the money line. The Buccaneers, strong bet on the money line this week. I love the Texans getting 1.5 at Jacksonville. 5-0 in Jacksonville the last 5 years. I like Seattle on the money line, even though the number there is now at 7.5. I'm not laying 7.5. Even though the Seahawks are at home and it's going to be raining. The hedge bets, Chiefs on the money line. I like if you're going to play the Lion-Raven game with the Lions, I'll go ahead and I'll take the 5 points.
All right.
Okay. Well, then I guess now let's pivot to our picks and we will wrap up today's show. It was a really good week for me. I'll save that for last. Mike, do we want to start with you? Izzy, you got yours queued up? Do you have your?
Yeah, I'll try pulling it up on my other phone. My computer had to restart. It's gonna take like an hour.
Oh, it's doing like a reboot. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I know.
I'm sharing my picks for this week.
All right, let me pull this
What
up.
did everybody do last week, Brian?
I was 10-6 in week 2, so I've had 2 successful weeks. I'm 21-11 overall. I don't know if that puts me in the lead for this year or not, but that's not bad. I mean, the games I missed on were for some reason I picked the Redskins and Jaden Daniels, but
I'm in the same boat.
In retrospect, that wasn't very smart. But you know, I mean, you got to go with what your gut. So let's move on to week 3. I've already actually made the picks. Miami at Buffalo is already over. Won that game. Atlanta and Carolina. I got the Falcons 1-1 versus 0-2. I think the Falcons go to 2-1. I really like Mr. Penix, and I don't think Bryce Young is going to be good enough to hold them off. Cincinnati at Minnesota. God, you know what? Flip a coin. I'm going to go with Minnesota just because I like Carson Wentz better over Jake Browning as a backup. And the Bengals are 2-0, but they could have easily been 1-1 or even 0-2. I don't think the Vikings are that good, but they have better talent for Carson Wentz to utilize. So I expect Minnesota to pull that one out at home. Green Bay at Cleveland. Sorry, Brian. I think Green Bay is the better team.
They are, but I have hope.
They're going to win that game. Houston versus Jacksonville. Houston, you're 0-2. I shouldn't pick you, but I'm getting 1.5 points. I'm absolutely taking that. And I think Houston is desperate. They're going to be more desperate. They're going to be the desperate team. They're going to win. Tennessee may be desperate, but they don't have any bullets in the gun. I like the Colts going on the road and beating the Tennessee Titans. Los Angeles and Philadelphia. I have picked the Eagles to win the game. I'm going to bet the Rams and take the points, but I'm going to pick the Eagles to win the game. I think I should pick the Rams. I may regret this later because I think they might win this game. Might actually win it because the Eagles look, you know, you can't maintain it indefinitely and you're going to lose some games. And I think the Rams have impressed me. They're better than I thought they were. So I'm going to go.
They almost beat them last year in the playoffs.
Almost beat them last year in the playoffs. So, okay, I'm going to switch and go with Rams because I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And I'm going to put my mouth where my money is. And I'm going to put the Rams. Las Vegas and the Redskins, Washington. I'm just going to take the home team because I think both teams are equally bad. So I'm just going to go that way. New York Jets at Tampa all the way. Pittsburgh at New England. Wow. After seeing Pittsburgh last week, I'm hesitant, but I do think that Tomlin is going to be running a tighter ship this week. And I expect the Steelers to bounce back from that surprising loss against my Seahawks. Denver at the Chargers. They're just a better team. And like I think Jim pointed out, or Brian, you pointed out, Broncos are a terrible road team. New Orleans at Seattle. This is a touchy game. I'm not betting it because we've never seen Sam Darnold play in the rain before. And it's going to be raining there. And I don't know what it's going to mean. So I would not take this on a bet, but I'm just going to say money line. Seahawks are a little bit better football team than the Saints, so I expect that to happen. San Francisco at home against Arizona. I just don't believe in Kyler Murray, and I just am never going to. And I don't think 49ers are all that good. But I do think Mac Jones really fits the system. I think he'll be very efficient on offense. Praying that McCaffrey doesn't get injured, I expect Santa Clara to win that game. Dallas and Chicago, you got the Bears are going to be desperate, but they just don't seem to have it together there yet. So I think Cowboys go in and probably squeak that one out. Kansas City at New York, I'm going to favor the Chiefs because they are the better football team, but Russ has a habit of beating Mahomes here and there. So, you know, I think it's a big rivalry game for Russ personally. I expect him to have another good game. I don't know if it's enough for them to win, but I am going to take the 6 points. But I'm taking the Chiefs to win the game. And then Detroit at Baltimore. Boy, the Lions were so good offensively last week, but I don't think they're going to be as successful on the road in a primetime game. I got to go with the Ravens. And those are my picks for this week.
All right.
Good picks.
Nice. All right, let's take that down. Are you able to share your picks, Jim? Or do you tell us your picks? I'm trying to remember.
I'll do it caveman method here.
That's how we did it last week. I knew it was something jury rigged. Okay. How was your week last week, and what's your total, Jim? Last week and your overall.
I won 11 and 5 last week. I am also 22-11 on the year. I went ahead and took Buffalo. We won that game. I I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers as a home dog in this game. Straight up, I'll take Cincinnati to win the game against the Vikings. I've got Green Bay against your Browns, Brian.
You guys are missing the boat. I'm telling you, you're going to be surprised.
I will take Houston, as I mentioned before, to win and cover against the Jaguars. I will take the Colts, one of my best plays of the week here. I'll take the Colts against the Titans. I will take the Eagles against the Rams. I will take, this is my upset of the week. I'm going to go ahead and take Oakland against the Redskins. I think the Raiders will travel across the country, and I think they will beat Marcus Mariota in Washington. I will take Tampa Bay all day against the Jets. I like Pittsburgh to win the game against the Patriots. And I will take San Diego to win the game against the Broncos. I'll take our Seahawks to win the game against the Saints. Santa Clara will beat the Cardinals. I'll go ahead and take Dallas, as the public seems to be doing, against Chicago. And I will take the Chiefs to beat the New Jersey Giants. And to wrap it up, I will take Baltimore to win the game against Detroit, but I don't think they cover. Another thing I wanted to add, an interesting stat. You guys make your picks. Think of this. So far this year, teams that have been favored by 4 points or more. Teams that have been favored by 4 points or more are 12-0 straight up.
Okay, so the trend is if you're getting a solid bump, it's kind of a lot.
4 points. If the team is favored by 4 or more,
okay,
they are
see if that trend
12-0
continues
straight up.
That is a good data point. It really just, and it could totally change this week, but I think that's a good data point.
And that's just this year. That doesn't go back to 20.
Yeah, and that's an example of a game where I think the Chiefs probably win the Giants game, but I don't think they cover the spread. So,
right, right.
Yeah, it's a good example, Jim. It's great. It's a great stat. Fascinating.
All right, and that's yours, Izzy. You're up.
I'm gonna go caveman style too. I can't bring it up on my phone. Last week, yeah, I'm joining Jim. Last week, I went 13-3.
Whoa!
It could have been better. I did say last week a lot of them. I lost to Green Bay, Washington. I'll accept that one. Jets, Bills. I was like, why not? And
your overall record? Are you
and
leading?
Saints and 49ers. I was like, why not as well? I was just hating on both those teams for no reason. I'm 23-9.
Ah, he's the leader. 23.
Oh,
Yep.
23-9.
All right, I'm gonna try to get through these before my phone dies.
Okay.
Run.
So week 3, those games I lost. I'm gonna be a little hater this week, a little more. I'm gonna take Atlanta, Carolina, Minnesota versus the Bengals. I feel like Carson Wentz is gonna outplay JJ McCarthy, and there's gonna be some controversy there.
No, McCarthy. Oh, okay, yes, okay, gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah. Green Bay, Cleveland. I think Joe Flacco is gonna take down Green Bay. Houston, Jacksonville. I'm gonna take Jacksonville. I watched the Texans game. Just horrible coaching all around. I don't understand what happened last week. I was right on that game though. Indianapolis, Tennessee. I'm gonna take Indianapolis, of course. Rams, Philadelphia. I'm gonna take the Rams. Las Vegas, Washington. I'm gonna take the Raiders against the Washington Redskins. Tampa Bay, New York. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. New England, Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go New England. It's gonna be like 14-17 that game. Denver, Los Angeles. I'm gonna take the Chargers. Seattle, New Orleans. I'm gonna take Seattle. San Francisco, Arizona. I'm gonna take Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Dallas, Chicago. I got Dallas, my Dallas Cowboys beating the Chicago Bears. Close. I think it's going to be like the Giants and Cowboys game from last week. Kansas City, New York. I got Kansas City. I think Spagnuolo is going to be good. Xavier Worthy should be healthy to play. So I'm going to take Kansas City. And Detroit, Baltimore. I think Baltimore's defense is still too good for Detroit, and I'm going to take Baltimore. Great.
All right. Izzy doing really good this season.
Yeah.
Mr. Robinson, are you,
Yes, sir.
are you still comfortable laying that, you comfortable laying that 1.5 with Dallas?
I don't mind it at all. I understand it. I kind of understand it. I mean, we saw our defense last week. Imagine what CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams and his targets are going to do against the Dallas defense. So.
Worried about the defense.
I think the 1.5 is a gift. I'd go ahead and take Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's Dak Prescott. When he came second in MVP against Lamar in 2022, he had less passing yards than he does throughout 2 weeks this year. So,
okay,
good stuff to throw out there.
All right. Well, let me switch over to my week. Well, where do I begin? Last week I went 13-3. I tied Izzy. Where am I at on the season? 23-9. Didn't I tie Izzy? Aren't we tied at that? 23-9?
Sir.
I mean, 13-3.
Great competition.
Well, I screwed up obviously here because I picked the Cleveland Browns. I think I picked them 1 week early because I'm still picking them this week. I picked Denver over Indianapolis. Look, this game was a coin flip. Indy lost it, and it was that last play they got to redo on. Fine, it's a coin flip. That could have gone either way. I can accept that. And I had Minnesota, but my gosh, Atlanta played a lot better. And
I don't watch that game.
Yeah.
I saw no touchdowns. So
yeah, it's I don't know what they're going to be doing up there. Justin Jefferson did not look happy. It says I'm 24-9 on the season because I did get the Buffalo pick correctly. So rolling through the teams here, I'm going to take Atlanta over Carolina. Cincy and Minnesota. At Minnesota. Carson Wentz. I'm going to come back to that. I'm picking Cleveland over Green Bay. I just think the Browns are due. There is that desperation factor, and all those rookies, Harold Fannin and Dylan Sampson and Quinshawn Judkins. I think the Browns are going to really make a leap in week 3. Houston, Jacksonville. I'm going to pick Jacksonville. Houston's got to prove me something. They haven't been able to do it this year. Although that was a coin flip game. They could have, would have, should have won against Baker and the boys. Indy's going to beat Tennessee. Rams, Philly. I'm going Philly, but I'm not confident about it. Vegas, Washington. Mariota we're going with. I still think they're the better team overall. New York, Tampa Bay. I'm going for Baker. Pittsburgh, New England. Man, these are similar teams. I'll come back to that one. Denver, Los Angeles. I think the Chargers are better. I think they're going to win, especially at home. Not like they have a big home field advantage, but still, at least it's not in the atmosphere of Denver. New Orleans, Seattle. I'm going to go Seattle, but I'm not comfortable about this one either. New Orleans has been showing a lot of spirit this year. And, anyway, I'm still picking the Seahawks. Arizona, San Francisco. This is another pick 'em. I think San Francisco just has the pedigree, but I think it'll be very close. I wouldn't put money on it if there were points involved. Dallas, Chicago, I'm going to go Dallas. I just don't see why people think this is going to be close. We'll see, obviously, because of the defense. Okay, I'll give you that.
I think it's going to be close.
And that might well be the case, but I will give the edge to Dallas. KC, New York, 2 0-2 teams. Obviously, KC's theoretically the better team, right? So I'm going to go New York. I just really see it spiraling out of control in Kansas City. Detroit, Baltimore, in Baltimore. Oof. God, that's another tough game. Let me go back up to the top here. Cincy, Minnesota. I'm going to give the edge to Minnesota. I don't think they're that bad, but we'll see. Pittsburgh, New England. I'm going Pittsburgh. And then Detroit, Baltimore. Man, I'm going to go Detroit to win it. And those are my picks.
I have 2 things for you guys before we end and before my phone dies. It's at 30%.
Yes, sir.
Ashton Genty is going to get his first 100-yard rushing game this
Ooh,
week.
Predictions. Yes. Okay.
And Carson Wentz is going to have like 4 touchdowns, either on the ground combined or passing TDs combined.
Carson Wentz.
Those are my 2 personal locks for the week.
Izzy's locks. Are you doing something on your FanDuel?
Oh, yeah, probably like a parlay or something. I mean, I've been hitting for the past 2 weeks, so I think I'm good.
So you got the Raiders beating the Redskins, right, Iz?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Good
Vegas.
pick.
Gino, the thing about Gino, is he's up and he's down and he's up. And
Yeah,
he's down.
I watched that game.
Yeah. When he has those good games,
He does. That game was atrocious.
He has good games and really bad ones.
That's why I said Jency's going to get 100 yards.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Any other keys or picks or locks? Any of you guys?
Well, I got my 16 parlay. Kind of Colts on the money line, Falcons on the money line, Texans taking 1.5, Rams taking 3.5, Bucks on the money line, and then my cover game is Giants in the 6.
Mike, that is the definition of a degenerate. A
Degenerate
16 parlay.
I am officially a degenerate gambler.
A 16-leg parlay. All right.
But
Yeah,
if it comes through, the ladies over at Spearmint Rhino are going to be very happy. So.
That's fantastic.
Spearmint Rhino, Nashville. Here I come. All
right. Maybe I'll be there. You said next week, you said?
It's a week from Saturday. Yeah, week from Saturday. The Alien Fest.
I might be indisposed. We'll see. We'll talk about that. Gentlemen, I think, are we going to plan for Tuesday, the regular time? Tuesday? We tried to do Tuesday.
Yeah, I may have a guest on Tuesday, but I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday, so we'll see. But yes, let's tentatively plan for Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday. What were we saying? What PM are we?
I like it earlier, like 3 p.m, like we did at this time, 3 your time.
6 p.m. your time.
Okay, I think. Oh, okay, 6 p.m.
1,500 hours our time, 1,800 hours your time.
Yeah, because that way Jim doesn't have to be up at noon; he can sleep in.
All right, let's pencil in 6 p.m. Eastern for next week's episode, season 2 episode. What are we on? Would that be 6 next week?
Yeah.
Woo, we're flying through the season.
Yeah. Just call me Jim Dave Bara.
Jim Dave Bara. All right, Izzy, I'm coming for you in the picks this week. I got some games. I got some advantages. We'll see what happens. You're gonna have to knock the champ out to take this title.
Hey, I'm still here.
All right.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, one final thing. The Indians have won like all of their games, like 11 out of their last 12 or something.
Oh, one final thing. Shohei is the greatest baseball player since Babe Ruth.
Yeah, you can bet on that. I'd bet on that.
He'll be the best baseball player. There's rumors of him playing in the outfield for the postseason.
Cal Raleigh is the American League MVP.
I agree with you on that one.
He broke Mickey Mantle's home run record for switch hitting catchers, I think it is.
And he's a catcher. Yep.
Unbelievable season. Should win the MVP. Guys up there in South Alaska rarely win national awards, but let's hope it comes through.
South Alaska.
There was a baseball game on this afternoon. This afternoon on ESPN. Yeah. I sat in my backyard and watched the grass grow.
Fair enough.
All right, let's hit it.
All right. Yep. I appreciate all of you. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Ez'Ryel, Mike Bara. Hey,
I didn't hit that. Yep.
We're all flexing in honor of Mike's show. Check out Toxically Masculine Tuesday, of course. All right. Signing out for everybody out there. We appreciate you. We love you. And we will talk to you again next week on Strictly Football. Thank you all for being here. To be continued.
Peace.
I'm Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.